What is this? Aha. So we need to test this all out. Cope and seed. Oh, that's kind of cool. Hopefully we have audio. No, nothing has changed at all. Everything is exactly as it was. Alright, that would be the better one. But we got what we got. So, we are live. But not properly live. Mute. So just in case. Just in case. Alright, hold on. That guy was very smart by making that song. Very smart. I think it was Jaheim, innit? Very smart. What happened to Jaheim, bro? With the tonk forehead, bruv. Trust me, I would know. Right. How did he do this mess? Hi. Hey. There you go. The thing is, everybody is live today for some reason, even the big guys. So I doubt we'll get any callers. But that being said, it's not like that deter us from having some fun on the game. It's a rarity we get to have fun these days. So we should appreciate every moment. Okay. Let's get a sound check. Damn, that was loud. Right. Yo. Full feedback loop. Right, now let's get a guest request test. Uh-oh. Oh, I started a fight. I didn't even mean to. Hey, man. I'm not trying to fight you. Whoops. I'll take it, though. Huh? Oh. Hey. Good shout, Dr. Umar. Do you know what I think that is? I've been doing a hero run, but I think we took out a lot of innocent people. Oh, wait. Let's make sure we got sound. I didn't notice that. Alright. Test. About it there. Hey, good chat. Good chat, bro. I didn't notice that. I think that's because when we was doing those last missions, we took out some civilians by accident. Yeah, I was doing a mic test. I started yapping while I was doing the test midway. Oh, a shame. I tried to listen back to that conversation we had the other day, but your mic is so low, bro. It was super low. I could barely make out anything you're saying. It's a shame, man. It was a good chat as well. But how you doing anyways? Yeah, I don't know how we ended up being evil. But shit happens, I guess. Probably one too many of those happening. Alright. I'm still super stuffy, man. Like every day with the bloody hay fever, with the cold. So annoying. You see like the caption would be like snorts, sniffs, coughs. Why did they start? I don't think they did, you know. I looked at another Infamous today at the shop. I was going to get it, but I thought, barely even enjoying this one. So, up, Johanna? That's nice of you to say. Yeah, they got the one with the lady. I think that's the one I'll try next. Nah, it's not Skate. Can you imagine if Skate had the anti-conduit activist, disrupt activist, Neil Karma? Hell no.
Wow, I'm impressed with your impulse control. Maybe you should wait it by the neon sign, yeah? Might be less conspicuous that way. Besides, you'll probably head there to recharge.
Yeah, plus there's probably less people I want to kick the crap out of up there.
That too.
Yeah, I think that's the last one. The one with the girl is the last one, I think. So I think this is them just showing me the karmic system, maybe. This game is quite awkward though. I see a dealer be a squealer. Where is it? Yeah, I'm trying to do a good playthrough. I've only ever done good playthroughs, but as Dr. Umar just pointed out to me, that his karma's not in good standing because his coat is red. But I didn't even notice that. I haven't made any evil decisions, at least any on purpose, anyways. I think we've just been accidentally taking out civilians during combat. Considering the fact that he does stuff like this, it doesn't really surprise me. It's like it's kind of hard to keep these powers in check, and that might be getting me evil points as well. Accidentally comboing them. Oh, I got killed. I doubt it, Johanna, but that's very kind of you. I don't think I'd ever want to be famous, to be honest. Give me the money, keep the fame. I say, give me the money and keep the fame. Oh, True Seeker, why don't you come up and talk to me about it? You can hit the request button. I don't think blasphemy is possible. And you know what? If I was to think a God existed, I don't think a God would be so petty as to subscribe to these ideas of blasphemy. I don't think a God would care if he existed. You know? I think that's a very human-centered thing, which speaks to the invention of God being a human thing in the first place. Why would God have these human emotions and feelings about these things? Like, how could you insult a God? That just doesn't make sense. But yeah, you can insult people and their hurty feelings and their religion, of course. But why would God care? He's a God, damn it. So there's that. Oh, there is a request. Sorry, I couldn't see it. Who was first, Space Logic or Free the Jails? Alright, I'm gonna accept you. Let's just let this cutscene play out quickly. Oh, is this how he gets the powers? Oh, so she must be the girl from the other game. That I looked at this game in CEX today, and I thought to buy it, and I thought, nah, let's just play this, finish this first. She must be the other Infamous character. We fighting? Ooh, it's very pink. I will accept the request. Let's just let this cutscene happen because it's gonna just make noise.
You're not getting away. I got this now.
To run at light speed. I wouldn't say that's light speed. Okay, to leave neon blur on the screen, hold circle is what it should have said. That is definitely not light speed at all. That's slow as hell. To be slow as hell, hold circle. Right, where's she? I still feel like Prototype 1 and 2 move way better than this. And this is PS4, bro. It's low-key embarrassing for them. Alright. Now what? Have I run out? Probably not. The game is Infamous. Second Son, I think it's called. What? She think I'm chasing her for money or something? She got a gambling problem, huh? I'm joking. Hey, free money. Jump, jump, jump. Oh, I can't attack stuff. Oh, I can. I'll take that. Fetch is getting away. How could that be possible since we both move at light speed? How would that ever be possible? Okay. Oh boy. This mission's a bit jarring. Just making a mess of this. My parkour, there are no parkour skills. It literally just says hold circle. There's no like, you know, it's not even like Infamous 1 and 2. It's just literally hold circle. So I'm just holding circle and pressing forward. It's doing nothing. It's like, that's not parkour. It's a disrespect to parkour. Ooh. We're doing a good path, but currently he's evil apparently. Damn, how long is this gonna go on for? Is this a fight now? Or drain neon signs? That doesn't even make sense. How much does it's like, so first he has to depend on smoke, now he has to depend on neon signs. This isn't looking good, bro. Should play Elden Ring. I wish Netanyahu was paying me. Alright.
Hello?
Yo, Space, how you doing, bro?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad, man. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I have an argument. Just want to like run. You probably heard it before, but I guess I just like to get your thoughts on it. That's fine.
Cool, you should know that I'm not really I'm not very informed on analytical type of logic, you know, or analytical philosophy where these like rationalist syllogisms are given. So, as long as you're aware
Okay.
of that.
Yeah, that's fine. It's this one's really not that like difficult to understand. I feel so. I'm sure you'll be able to track, but basically it's just like a basic contingency argument. So everything that we know or that we currently know is contingent in some way on another thing. And so basically a contingent thing is something that needs an explanation for why it is the way that it is. And essentially that like chain of explanations can't go on infinitely.
Why?
So there has to be a non-contingent thing.
Why can't it go on infinitely?
So it can't go on infinitely. So I'd use a few analogies for this. Like the first analogy is like let's think of like a video game, right? Like if you were trying to make a video game, you got to do coding and stuff, right? Well, the code to make the game can't be infinite, right? There can't be an infinite number of arguments or an infinite number of logic or an infinite number of variables, things like that. Or else you don't really have a game, right? It has to like terminate or has to stop.
I don't think that analogy is very good.
No, you don't think so? Why?
Because like you're talking about the universe, right? Not really like a immaterial thing.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, but I mean, it's the same idea. Like there couldn't be like an infinite amount of logic that goes into
Did
the things
did I
that
say immaterial
exist.
thing? I just meant like a non-animate thing. I'm not sure what I said just now. But yeah, sure.
It's kind of like an incomplete sentence, right? Like it would just be incomplete, so it wouldn't make sense.
I don't think that's true, but I'd still want to hear the rest of the argument about the interruption.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, so basically, if you admit that there would have to be something non-contingent, well then necessarily it doesn't prove that the necessary thing is God, right? Like you could say it's not God, that's fine. But what you would be conceding is essentially that there's this thing that exists that is completely unchanging. It has a lot of power because it explains the things that we know. So it explains the universe. So it's the cause of the universe. It would be so it'd be really powerful in some way. It'd be unchanging. It'd be eternally uncreated. So it would have had to exist forever. Has to exist at all for anything to exist. And I feel like if you just get that far, right? If you just admit that much, then really our worldviews don't really seem all that different anymore, right? So it would
So,
pretty much just
so what
be,
is your worldview then?
yeah, I'm a Christian.
A Christian, yeah.
Yeah.
So why specifically a Christian? What about Christianity makes you believe in it? Or better question, when did you start becoming a Christian, or was you always?
Well, technically, I guess like culturally, I was always, but I didn't really care, like, give that much of a crap about it until, like a few years ago, I kind of re-looked into it, and I guess I just think that it's the most logical view that best explains like all the data that we currently have. I obviously don't think it's like completely perfect, and there's some areas where there's room for doubt, and I think that's fine. But I think
So when
just
you
like overall, holistically, it best explains everything.
best explains everything, like what? Like give an example of what Christianity best
Yeah, well, I
explains.
mean, well, I think like first, I think like logically, like I know you're not big into logic, but I am big into like philosophy, things like that. So I think it just best explains logic. It best explains creation and uh,
Christianity specifically best explains logic and creation.
yeah, because number one, necessarily like non-contingent thing has to exist, and then there's more arguments that I could give that that non-contingent thing has to have a mind, has to have some kind of mind or intelligence, and then that would better
Right.
explain like the foundations of the universe, things like that.
So, could you agree with me that those are things you believe and aren't actually facts?
Well, I mean, I could demonstrate them, so I would say it's like
No, just
logical.
like just straight up and down. They're things that you believe, but not actually facts, not concrete things that we know for certain.
Yeah, sure.
Fine, as long as you can accept that they're things you believe and not actual
Yeah. I mean,
facts.
I don't like I
That's
said,
totally fine.
I don't think it's 100%, but I think it's a higher percent than ever and than anything else.
I would disagree with that, especially in like probability wise. Like, so for
Yeah,
instance,
okay, that's fair.
I'm familiar with the uncaused cause argument, right? And I'm well aware as well an uncaused cause doesn't bring you to a god, specifically not the God of the Bible. That's just like it's like extra shoehorning stuff to get to that.
Yeah. There would be more arguments to get to that.
Sure. All right. So that being said, I also hold the view that humans have the capacity to reason to things, but being able to reason to those things doesn't bring them into existence either. So we could reason that there might be a first cause if everything functions in this linear kind of causal way, or like philosophically you say everything's dependent on something. Scientifically you say everything is caused by something.
Yeah.
So you could think that's true, but we still don't have enough information to know if the universe as a whole ever started. Or better question is, what the universe even really is. So we don't even know that to be able to say if it started and if there's a mind behind it.
Yeah, I mean, we think it's like a container, right? But the universe itself is also contingent. I mean, that much we know. Like we know it's expanding, so we know that there's another explanation that's required for that. But yeah, I guess you're right. Like we don't know if it lasted forever. Honestly, even if it lasted forever, I still don't think that Like it still needs like another non-contingent thing, but that's
Why?
a whole nother
Why
can
does
of
it though?
beans.
Why
Yeah,
does it?
so even yeah, hold on. So even if something lasts forever, so for example, like matter lasts forever, it can't be created or destroyed, but matter is still contingent, right? It still interacts with other things. It can be stronger or weaker or things like that. So it still needs explanations. So there still needs to be a one explanation of everything. And so even if the universe itself was eternal, there still it would we would just posit like God existing alongside the universe eternally. But it still requires God.
I would definitely disagree. I think God is fundamentally just an immaterial idea that people can use as a tool whenever they feel like it. So, like for instance, you're saying God is like this fundamental thing to the universe existing. Someone else might say God is consciousness, so on and so forth. I think if we was actually going to try and like study the natural world, it probably wouldn't lead us to these God concepts. I think we bring our God concepts to the table and use them in like a God of the gaps type of way. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, that's fair that you would think that. I mean, if somebody said, God was like the soul or something, might be some like heretical concept. So like that's whatever. But I would say, again, I don't rule out that possibility that maybe in the future we just find more information and it kind of defeats the purpose of God existing. But the point isn't.
I think that's
It's what we have
consistent with
now, though.
history, though, isn't it? That's also consistent with history.
Well, how is it consistent? Well, yeah, I think, and with some history, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because any
I agree.
time when something wasn't understood or unknown, it was mystified, and therefore it was because of God. If you look at the history of the church, specifically how they ruled over access to knowledge, like they banned books, they stopped people from being able to teach, all these kinds of things, in order to keep up the mystery or the illusion of God being
Well,
like
no,
the
that's
bestower
well,
of
no, I
knowledge,
disagree
and
with that. I disagree
this
with that.
you could disagree, but it's historically a
No,
fact.
no. Well, no, I think partially it's true, but I think science itself came from Christianity. I think that's pretty demonstrable. Like we invented the scientific method because the early church fathers they basically had this idea like, oh, our reasoning is flawed because we have original sin, things like that. So we need to invent the scientific method. And with
Nah,
things like Galileo, and they like
their
banned
side
Galileo
that
against.
might be the way your worldview is being taught to you, but that's not the reality of human history. Christianity is a
I mean,
very small
others.
part of of human history, a very small part. And from my point of view, it's more responsible for the ignorance of humans than it is for the enlightenment of humans. Considering the enlightenment period and its issues with Christianity, Catholicism, Protestantism, etc., from Puritans all the way to whatever exists today. But let's not go into ancient history. The point is this: people will use God concepts whenever they come up against something they don't know. And that thing they don't know, they will fill with the God concept. So, like I was saying, historically, people have been doing that, specifically in Christianity. The suppression of information was primarily to buttress that, to be able to keep the myth of God explaining things that he doesn't actually explain.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it isn't it kind of like just begging the question that you're just assuming this is the case, but like, how do
No.
you know that this is the
Where
case?
where is the
That everybody's
begging
just
the
making it
question
up.
of it? Where is the best begging the question of it? Of
Yeah,
what I just said?
so the topic of the debate is, well, it's not really a debate, it's a conversation, but the topic is we're talking about like the conception of God, and you're kind of just saying, well, it's this. And
No.
well, I'm asking like, how do you know that
You
though?
you ignored everything I just said, didn't you? So I'm saying, right, in the same way you are here today, like building like a first cause argument based off like Aquinas or whatever from the past, right? That is the same kind of God of the gaps that people would have applied in the past and still do today. With all the access to the information you have about the universe and how it functions, physics, quantum physics, astrophysics, the lid on knowledge keeps going up and up and up. And every time we hit a ceiling, people say, whatever's above that lid is God, in the same way you're doing that now. That's the point of what I'm saying to you. So where I say that is to say the God of the gaps thing, where explaining the universe is consistent in history. We didn't understand, how water or electricity or whatever, or mathematics, all these different types of things. I know I'm just being bit ridiculous. But there's a bunch of different things throughout human history that we didn't fully understand. And people will invoke God and say it's God that explains that. And then someone comes along and is like, no, it's this and this and this. Then we stop attributing that to God. And then we move God up a bit more. We move God up a bit more. That's what I'm saying to you. In the case of us saying God has to be fundamental to the cause of the universe. If we don't fully understand the universe and how it actually functions, then the only reason God is being used as an explanatory tool is because we don't have a sufficient natural explanation yet. That's what I'm saying to you.
Okay, but yeah, like again, I understand what you're saying, but that's not necessarily what's being applied here, because we're saying that logically necessarily, like we're not invoking science, right? We're invoking logic. So it
No,
would be like,
you're talking philosophically, and that
yeah,
all of your
yeah.
philosophical claims are built around your belief, and your belief isn't a
It has
concrete
nothing to
thing.
do with my belief. You could be an atheist and believe that.
No, why would I be
Yeah, you could be an atheist.
why would I be using God as the cause of
No,
the
well,
universe
no,
if I
no,
was an
listen.
atheist?
No, listen. My
That wouldn't be
argument,
on the
like the
table.
uncaused, no, listen. The uncaused caused argument, like an atheist could also believe that.
Yeah,
Like there
there's
has
an
to be a
uncaused cause.
non-contingent thing,
Cause.
correct? That was what my argument.
Remember what I said earlier on? You can reason to that, but it doesn't make it a fact. Because we don't actually know how the universe really functions, or if there is a beginning to the universe, or if causation is linear. That's what I'm saying to you. So the only reason
So
God,
logic isn't factual.
the only reason that kind of argumentation ends up in a theological world is because it's mystery primarily. So you can pull God into it to say, oh, the uncaused cause must lead to a God. Right? But the uncaused cause is just something you can reason to. It doesn't make it a matter of fact. So it's the same type of God of the gaps until it's addressed scientifically.
Yeah, but well, philosophically here, you can like reach that scientifically, like ever.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, so like you couldn't scientifically reach like the argument I'm giving you, like ever. I mean, it's just logic, right? Like you're not going to be
So
able to like
it's not
see.
valuable in that sense then.
So it's not valuable if it's not scientific.
No, I'm saying it's not valuable in the sense of getting to truth, right? It's valuable in you trying to buttress your beliefs. Like remember what I said earlier on that I'm not really interested in analytical philosophy in this way, or at least how it's used in like theological arguments, is because really what we're doing is playing a game. We're not actually trying to understand things. We're playing a game. We're like, I already think this, you already think that. Let me use a logical syllogism and an argument to play the game with you. But should I decide not to play the game, none of it matters because it doesn't push forward any type of belief or any type of truth.
Well, not
It's just a game.
well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess like this would be our disagreement because I don't really see it as like just a game. I mean, it's like really demonstrating that it would be like an incoherent worldview if you can like say what I'm saying. Like it could, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
So in like these types of more Filbro spaces, right? I don't mean to use that as like a pejorative if that's what it's
No,
called,
it's okay. I understand.
right? What people will do is they'll give an ontological argument, a teleological argument, whatever, on and on and on, right? But the point of these arguments aren't really to reach truths. They're to play a type of exchange. Me and you just agreed to play a game of chess. The format of playing a game of chess are the syllogisms. That's what I mean
Okay.
by it being a game. The outcome in like those logical kind of witticisms and back and forths isn't to actually reach a consensus on what is true and what is not true. It's about playing the game, the language game of the syllogisms. I'm giving you this rational argument. Is it valid? Is it sound? Do you disagree with this premise? If you agree with this premise, then you have to agree with this conclusion. That's the format of the game. But that doesn't necessarily map onto reality in terms of like, it's not necessarily truth tracking. Like I said, you could reason to,
Could it be though? Could it be?
in some instances, maybe, but in other
Okay.
instances, you could replace a concept of God with a fairy and still get the same outcome in the argumentation. Those kinds of things exist in that realm because it's about the logical game of the words, how they're structured. Really, it's just maths. It's like word maths. Really, right? And because it's that kind of, I say from a layman's point of view, closed system, it's not really valuable to the layman, the average guy that's going about in the world and interacting with the expression of big ideas and not playing that game of chess, e.g. syllogism, you know, do you accept premise, not accept premise? The average person, it's not valuable to them in that way. And in the
Okay,
same way,
so
I don't think
what would be valuable?
it's in the same way it's valuable to anyone that forms a belief in God or chooses not to believe in God. Right? I think
But what would
those
be
are
valuable?
extras.
Something like empirical?
Well, yeah, to an extent, but I don't think you could prove everything empirically. I don't even know if you could prove a supernatural thing empirically. But that being said, in that
Yeah, I
same
mean, there's a
way,
lot of things you can't prove empirically
exactly,
that we all believe.
in that same way, someone could come up with a nice little neat thing that says, "Hey, like, if God exists in this format, this is what would be expected evidentially. This would be the effect that we should be able to measure." Right? People can propose those things, but where I stand in a conversation is an explanatory claim to what the thing is in the first place. Humans invented God. Why? How? How does it function? What's the use for it practically? That's what I'm trying to say to you. So, yes, I do think you could reason to an uncaused cause, but simply being able to reason to an uncaused cause doesn't make it a reality. That's all I'm saying. Right?
Okay, so then you just don't know if there's an uncaused cause?
I haven't got any
That's it.
reason to dwell on it. I think it's only useful in a debate, and even in a debate, it's kind of pointless. Like you just said, there's no way you could ever prove an uncaused cause anyway. Like, there's a view that whilst being a constituent of the
No,
universe, we could
I
never
wouldn't
have a
say
model of
that.
it.
I wouldn't say like I didn't say we couldn't prove it. I just said like it doesn't necessarily lead to God, but it leads, pretty close, I would say.
Well, how would you scientifically set about proving that there's an uncaused cause? Then what would be the ideas you offer up for that?
Well, scientifically, like empirically, you couldn't know,
So,
but logically, you can. Like I'm just saying, like empirically, we can't do everything empirically, so eventually we have to use something else, right? That's when we would use logic.
I agree, but I don't think it's useful to use those kinds of tools in a theological way, because
But why not,
what
though?
we're really doing is just buttressing our beliefs, but not trying to assess reality. Because we could just look at the natural world and be like, what can we know about the natural world, and just forget about all of our supernatural views, like, and because really we're just like influenced by thinkers of the past who didn't even have access to the information we have today. Do you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. I guess I just don't agree. Like, I don't even think the argument I'm making is, it's not even purely like theological. Like, it can just be,
I know, I know.
yeah,
I'm not attacking the uncaused cause argument. I'm saying
okay.
the style of conversation in
Of just
general.
debating or
Yeah.
just using
So,
like syllogisms
to
stuff.
me, it'd be the far more interesting, like, attack. Not even an attack, just like the far more interesting subject to attack at its core is why the belief anyway. What is it about humans, human nature? What is it about human culture, human history that brings us to these opposing views? That to me is far more interesting than cooking up a syllogism to support my belief. You know,
Okay.
to me, but that's not. Again, I'm a layman, so in some circles, the rationalist syllogism is all that matters. The argumentation is all that matters in some circles, but I'm just not one of those people. You know.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I understand.
But yeah, man. Anything else you want to
Um,
talk about?
yeah, well, I mean, not necessarily. I guess if you're not super interested in the logical side, then that's okay. I mean, I would just say like, it would also best explain like history. Like, okay, so I guess I would just ask then, what would your account be for something like the resurrection? Like, did it just not happen, or was Jesus
Well,
just not a guy?
I think personally, right? So here, like I said, this is more interesting to me. Ironically, I think what has happened historically throughout Christianity is that they have used the somewhat provable existence of a Judaic priest called Yeshua, right, to buttress the mythology, or you could say the metaphor that is Jesus Christ with the resurrection, with the special birth. I think people try to use the existence of that priest to support that myth and helps build this whole illusion of the religion itself. So if you're asking me, do I think Jesus Christ, as spoken about in the New Testament, existed in that capacity? No, I do not. Do I think it's possible that a man walked the earth and was a Jew and did have some ideological opinions about how one should live and was influential? Yes, I do. Right? But in terms of the resurrection, I find that to be a myth because there's not good evidence for that. and at best, charitably speaking, an allegory or a metaphor of some kind.
Okay, so then the apostles, they just like lied and
Yeah, that's an interesting point. A lot of people bring up. I was listening to some people speak
yeah.
about it the other day who are much more informed than me about like Bible history. For instance, I think they can only say about two of them actually may have died based on what they were preaching on because they were actively preaching, whereas the others weren't actively preaching about it. But that being said, anyway, right? The simple question of why would someone die for what they believe in isn't that hard to answer. Whether what they believe is right or wrong, it makes no difference. You know, if we look at Branch Davidans, we look at Waco, all these
Yeah,
case
there's plenty of
cases
others.
of
Yeah.
people who believe these
But I
strange
guess
things and die about it. It's not
well, hold on.
unusual, is it?
I guess what's different about Christianity is there's like enemy agitations, right? So we have like Paul, right? Like Paul, like why would he like deconvert from being a Pharisee
Yeah,
when he said that he had like a revelation, and then like he also was like he was also persecuted and stuff like that. But
sure.
like those
I don't know
other
the whole story, but I could give competing hypotheses to why he might do that. It's just whether they'd be acceptable to you or not. You know.
okay, sure.
So I would say, like, just based on human nature and the times he lived, apparently he was quite harsh on Christians. There's actually a view that he, instead of him trying to take out Christians one by one, he decided to actually infiltrate and do it that way, which is interesting and would explain a lot of
That is interesting. I've never
would
heard that
explain a lot
before.
of the effed up stuff inside of the actual religions. Would explain a lot, but that's one view to the side, right? But just in which thinking about men and how men function in hierarchies and power structures, there is good reason in the same way the Roman Empire would have use for Christianity, that Paul might have use for Christianity, whether it's for his own personal agenda or some kind of power trip, or just to find out what it's about. You know, there are many reasons that one might do those kinds of things and still not even believe in a God, or there still not be a God. You know, so from that point of view,
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's interesting. I guess I've never heard that before. Yeah, so I mean, I guess that's all I have. Good talk. I like you, bro. I might come back.
all right,
Some other time. We can talk later.
cool, man. Appreciate you. It is the
All
first
right, see you.
conversation on the stream, so I'm a little bit angsty, anyways. So nice to speak to you,
No,
bro.
you're good.
What was
No
your name?
worries. Like in real life?
Nah, just a name. I'll call you Space if you want.
Yeah, just space. It's fine.
All right, nice meeting you, Space. Good chat.
All right, see you. Thank you.
Let's have a drink of water. Hello? Yo, did not expect that voice behind that avatar. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Just listening up here. I've had a few theories, like myself, excuse me. Just got done eating, so I gotta clear my throat. But
Stream might go down a little just for a second. We just switched over to Wi-Fi because something happened. Hopefully still up.
but so
Yeah.
what the guy was saying, was he like all for the like Christianity thing, or like the Bible,
Well,
um,
we didn't
like
really.
the Bible topic?
Sorry, go on.
No, I was saying, was what he was going on about?
Well, we didn't really get fully into his belief system and why he thought what he thought. He came in to give a just like there's an argument called uncaused cause, or some people call it argument from motion. It depends, but yeah, that was just kind of what he was talking about primarily.
Okay. Um. Well, your question, or you said change your mind. Humans invented God.
Yeah,
Okay. Uh Now you're gonna have to maybe correct me if you feel different, but
sure.
I I somewhat agree, like a little bit, because if you think about the word God, like the etymology, what does it really mean?
Do you know, I've not actually looked deeply into the etymology of the word God. I don't think I have. I may have heard someone tell me about it in passing, but I've never really looked
Me
into it.
neither. I'm just throwing different points out there. But
Yeah, I'm not
I don't
sure.
know. It's just I've heard a lot of different theories. You know the what is it the what is it the observer theory? Like we're all the universe experiencing itself. I've heard that a lot. If you haven't,
Yeah, I've heard that. I think it might be called the egg or something. I can't remember exactly the name of it.
the chicken or the egg.
No, it's something weirder than that. But yeah, I have heard that. It seems to be more of a modern kind of view. Like one might say new agey kind of view.
Yeah,
What is it you actually believe though that you want to talk about?
well, I have an interesting view. I feel like it's just all about the belief because of the science that has been, I guess, spewed over everybody and remixed and rewritten, you know, through different ears, different brains. I feel like belief is just a primary thing. And it may seem like, I guess, a dull way of describing it, but I feel like, I mean, words really, the words that we've always spoke can't really describe it, but in this context, I would say, I feel like belief in any concept is a catalyst. Kind of like, if you know about Rick and Morty, that whole matrix of ideas and
I've
ideologies.
seen a couple episodes, or just like clips from Rick and Morty. I've never watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I completely believe everything that is, but that's a good way to look at it. Like the possibilities and, you know, just how much we really know and don't know through what we can only perceive or only describe. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of, to be honest, it's kind of hard to track what the main point is you're making because it's very weird.
I know. That's how it like I can't really pinpoint how I want to say it. That's why I'm not trying to really how do I say it? I'm not trying to really put a narrative on it. It's just flowing how it's flowing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So you're just saying shit to say it, basically. Yeah, nothing to really say. It's like, oh, fuck it, I'll just go on then. So it's up to this guy.
Yeah. I didn't really have a plan on coming up here. These are just random thoughts that float across
So,
when I do think about it.
he's dropped down. I was going to give that guy a shot. But, all right, so let's start like this then. What is it that you actually believe? Do you believe in God?
Yeah.
What kind of God do you believe in?
This may be weird, but I believe all of them exist in certain time not even timelines, but in certain frames of reference, I would say.
So you don't believe in one specific deity? Do you think you believe in many or just one?
Well, this is where it gets confusing. I believe there could be both. There could be a one deity, and there could be a many deity.
So that's a very an avoidant tactic you've got there. So do you personally
No,
believe
no.
in one God or do you believe in many?
I'm telling you, I believe
In
both.
many?
I can't really describe it.
So you believe in many then? If you believe in both, then you believe in many.
Yeah, I guess it would be many.
All right. So
But wouldn't it be?
what did you grow up as?
Would it be a thing?
What did you grow up as?
I mean, I went to a Baptist church, so I don't know if I would call myself a Christian because I didn't get baptized.
But you've grown
went to
up in
church a lot.
Christianity. All right. So one could say that that's your biggest cultural like kind of anchor for what gods are. Then would be Christianity.
Well, it used to be, but things happen and things change. So, like, I've seen some things that don't really quite fit in the Bible, as far as I've seen it. So, yeah.
Okay.
And I don't want to be bragging about it. It's just like it's if you've ever seen something so weird that nothing could explain it, you would know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I take the view that just because I can't explain something doesn't mean it's unexplainable.
Well, yeah. I'm saying like by the Christian standpoint, by like the Bible, like not by any other book, just specifically by the Bible, I guess. Yeah.
So what's the thing that convinces you that many gods or a god exists the most?
Well, I guess I don't want to be too literal, but I guess I'll go back to the point of what is a God, or what is God truly. If nobody has truly seen him come, and this is going from the church or the Bible standpoint, the Christian standpoint, I guess. I'm not, not too deeply, heavily into it, but
So
from that
what
standpoint.
makes you believe in God specifically?
Uh, I would say that would be a higher power, I guess, from what I've read, from what I've experienced.
You didn't answer the question, bro.
What?
Do you believe there's a higher power? Is that what you're saying, or am I misunderstanding?
Yeah.
So because you believe there's a higher power, you believe in God. That's the answer to the question.
Well, no, not because of that. I just do. I'm not like, I just don't believe there isn't anything,
Why not?
or there isn't a higher power.
Why not?
Well, it's tricky. It's tricky.
You're
It's tricky
tricky.
how I want to explain it.
You're tricky.
No, like my.
I mean,
Dude, imagine what I'm
you've not been
thinking.
straight up this whole time.
Imagine how I'm trying to say this. I'm saying, like, imagine how I'm trying to say this. Like, it's coming out way different. So, mm,
So
I mean, okay? Just give me a point and see if I can go off of it, because I can't really.
I'll tell you what we do, right?
I think a lot.
You drop down, have a think about it, and the next time we talk about it, you can tell me. That's what we'll do, yeah? So,
Yeah.
that being said, it was nice talking to you, my friend. And have a think about it,
Yeah.
then you can tell me why you believe in God next time. Alright?
Now you said, hold on. One thing you said though.
Like, Bruce is dancing. He gets tap dancing shoes on today. Alright, so if anyone else does want to come up, do feel free to request. There is a time limit today. But I'd rather get right to the point instead of like beating around the bush like that. It's kind of a waste for everybody's time. So I'm saying humans invented God. My position is all known gods are psychological constructs and do not exist independently of the mind. If your God requires belief, imagination, or faith to interact with, it's functionally non-existent. It requires that somebody devises a concept of God and imparts that concept to you for you to interact with, or you yourself have to devise a concept of God in order to interact with it. As far as I'm aware, there's never been evidence of God existing independently of humans. So if you've got that evidence, I want to hear it, and I think the rest of humanity want to hear it. But that is my position. Why do I say humans invented God? I'm of the opinion, well, I could put it this way. It's my pseudo hypothesis that God creation happened in 3 phases. The first being assigning elemental and celestial things agency using a cognitive theory called hyperactive agency detection. The second phase is a deification of abstract, internally generated abstract concepts like love, balance, war, peace, creation, destruction, etc. Deifying those things. Why do we deify those things? To give ourselves certainty where there's uncertainty. And the third reason is anthropomorphizing. We do that, giving these gods these human-like features to help organize society. So that's my stance on why humans invented God. So I'll say it again. First reason is humans have a built-in capability to assign things agency. Second reason is we deify abstract concepts to give ourselves certainty. And the third reason is we anthropomorphize to organize human society or create structures in society. So there it is. That's why I believe there is no God like that. It's just a immaterial concept. Yes, I am just yapping because there's no one else to yap to. But you're here, aren't you? So maybe you should come up and say something interesting. Or you'd have to just listen to me yap. Here we go. Hello?
What up?
How you doing, bro?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. What do you want to talk about?
I'm just doing a book report, chatting.
Book report?
I, yeah,
How old are you,
I
bro?
just read Death Note.
How old are you, bro?
I'm 18, bro.
You doing a book report?
Yeah, about to
Okay.
graduate in a week.
Okay, cool. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm
s-
hyped.
You say you're doing a book report on Death Note?
Yeah,
The anime Death Note?
yeah. The first
Okay.
book. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about why I believe in God,
Sure.
and it's because I I fear going to hell.
Ooh,
I don't fear God, but I fear going to hell. You know,
that's kind of rough.
like I'd rather like not believe in. I'd rather believe in him than not believe in him. You know.
So, do you know what hell is?
Isn't it like just where like all the demons are? I don't know.
I don't think that's what hell is. Do you know, like, what, do you believe in, like, the Christian God?
Yeah, I guess.
So, you know, like, hell from the Bible is a mistranslation, or, like, so hell as a place, a singular place doesn't actually exist. Did you know that?
Well, it could. It doesn't say it doesn't exist in the Bible.
So it's a mistranslation. King James version takes, I think it mixes four distinct places into one. Right? I think it's Sheol, Gehenna, Tartarus, and another place. Right. So it's like one Jewish place from Judaism and three Greek places from Greek mythology, and they use that picture of those distinct places to build this idea of hell. But how we like picture hell now in modern culture is built up by a lot of fictional works. One of those being Milton's Divine Comedy, I think. But yeah, most of our ideas about what heaven and hell is aren't actually biblical. They're just like based on fictional works. So there's that.
Yeah, that's kind of scary to think about, honestly.
I think it's more scary that you're scared of. Right, put it this way, right? Fear is totally natural, and we're all supposed to have fear because fear keeps us alive, right? Fear is like it's an involuntary reaction to something, but then there's psychological fear, right, which isn't brought on by direct experience or something. It's something that we ruminate on these kinds of things, and we build this imaginary picture of something, and that creates a different type of fear, like a phobia. Okay. That being said, I think from my own experience growing up, and I think from many other people out there could tell you, the best way to manage fear is to gain information, to get knowledge and insight about the thing that you're skeptical or fearful about. Because a lot of the time, what we're scared about is an image that we've built in our mind and isn't actually the thing itself.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So
I feel like
sure, go.
wait, you can go, sorry.
No, I'll listen.
I feel like I also think that it's like weird that everyone's born into the right religion, you know, like everyone believes in their God, like everyone's God's real. It's just weird that everyone has a God, you know.
Well, what do you mean everyone's born into the right religion? Do you mean that sarcastically, like you just
No,
happen
like
to be born
I
into the
just
right
think it's
religion,
actually
or
like I just think it's actually weird that there's like multiple religions and people like I don't know, it's just weird that I don't know.
I wouldn't say it's weird. I'd say it's
How
quite
we
quite
it,
expected.
why though?
Because, like, if you think about why I was saying I think humans invented God, it goes back to actual human needs, human instincts, and how we developed mentally. So if people are developing in a similar kind of way across different regions across time, then it makes sense that similar people will come up with a similar idea, right? Because we basically share the same anatomy. Only thing that really differs for most of us is our environment and how we interact with that environment, which shapes how we do agriculture, shapes how our language comes about, even shapes how like genetic factors like the shape of our nose or our limbs and stuff like that. But fundamentally, we're the same species. So to expect there to be, so to think like all these different God beliefs would be weird is wrong, because the only thing that ties all these different God beliefs together in the first place is us. Hence, kind of why I'm saying what I'm saying. We haven't got proof of God's existence outside of us. So it's not that weird that there's other religions, and it's not that weird. It's not that weird that there's a bunch of different gods either. It's kind of expected.
I kind of see what you're saying. It's crazy, bro.
It might be weird to like actually subscribe to one of those views, but it's not that weird that they exist. You know, it's expected. And if you think about how people use these god concepts, they're really just tools. Fundamentally, they're just tools, or ways of coping with reality or understanding reality.
Yeah, I can see how people use that. There's a lot of rules.
Yeah, rules are a part of it too.
I feel like there shouldn't be rules. I don't
Why?
know. I mean, obviously there's like the rules like there's like the obvious rules like don't murder and like don't steal, but like
Yeah.
the rules like where like you break like human societies like rules and you get like sent to hell. It's just all like it's stupid to me, you know. It's I don't
Well,
know.
the ironic thing is, there are only human rules, right? There aren't natural rules like that. Like nature isn't just saying, "Hey, look, check this rule out." In fact, like, don't take this the wrong way, but nature itself is like ultra hedonistic. It just does what gratifies it, so to speak. Obviously, we're acting like as if it has agency. This is the same anthropomorphizing thing I was talking about. We're pretending like nature has a mind and nature does, like, you know, Mother Nature. But really, nature doesn't make rules in that kind of way. There seems to be like there are laws in terms of what we describe about nature. You know, like you lose a certain amount of blood, you're gone, right? You fall from a certain height, you're gone, right? You eat this, you get sick. Like there seem to be like descriptive kind of laws, but in terms of rules, in terms of thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, those things are entirely social. Like they're not divine, they're not even necessarily natural, because nature does all of those things, right? And we don't bat an eyelid at it. But when men try to work with men, we need a set of rules and principles to abide by so we can get along. So there aren't actually any natural rules like that. It's us who place them and put them in play.
Yes,
So,
I
but
agree.
to say that you think there shouldn't be rules is something else, right? Because what would a world without any rules look like, though?
It'd be like Purge, bro. It'd be cooked.
You reckon?
Have you ever seen Purge?
I've seen one of them.
I've never seen it, bro. I wouldn't want to watch it. I bet I'm kind of
Well,
I really like
why do you
scary
think it would be like Purge, though?
just because there's people out there who are just purely evil. Like, I s-
You
have you ever
think?
watched like true crime documentaries?
Yeah, I've seen a couple.
Those are sketch, man.
Well,
People just be
yeah.
killing people out of the blue, dude.
Yeah, that's true too. That is true too. But like, think about it like this though. Obviously, the rules didn't stop them from doing it, though, did they? Because they still did it.
Nope.
There you
No.
go, right? So
Yeah.
the rules work when people agree to the rules. The minute people don't agree to the rules, they're useless. So that also points to the fact that these rules are really just like a societal contract. Now they're not really a social contract, because that's an old way of thinking. But there's value to the rules ultimately. But you also have to acknowledge the rules only matter if you value the rules. You know? But then, by that point of view, you wouldn't even have to call them rules. You just call them principles. These are my principles and these are my morals. I don't go beyond this.
Morals, yeah.
And I don't expect anyone else to go beyond these. And if they do, then I deal with them accordingly to my principles.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I tell you what though, bro. I'm going to give someone else a shot to come up. You get your book report done.
Alright.
Alright?
Sounds good.
Good chat, bro.
Peace out.
So yeah. What's up, Mark? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good.
Oh, how old are you, bro?
Thanks. I'm 22.
Don't cap. How old are you really?
22?
You sure, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, you sound very young, bro.
Yeah. I hear that a lot. So I want to ask, like, how
Sure, yeah,
you
go
say
on.
that heaven and hell didn't exist?
No, well, I'm saying hell technically by the translation doesn't exist as like one singular place. It's a bunch of different places mixed up together to make like one picture of a place.
Oh, like here on Earth?
Well, I don't think. Right, so if you're asking me my personal opinion, I don't think neither heaven or hell exist as actual places. Right, I think they serve as like a metaphor, or like I was just talking to with the other guy, a means to set up a set of rules, a governing system. So I don't think they actually exist as places. Personally, no.
Okay, so you said personal. So what in court? Why didn't the person before me ask you according to what? Like, what were you going based off of with the previous person? Was that just personal?
In what way do you mean?
Well, you just said personal. You said, well, my personal opinion. So that's according to your personal opinion. However,
Right.
the
So
statements before.
yes, when I was explaining to him that hell doesn't exist like that, I was explaining this. If you can read what's on the screen, it's a little bit kind of
Is this the
dodgy.
Bible?
So this explains the mistranslation. If I could get a better version of it, I will. So you see those 4 places. They're the 4 places the Bible mixes up to create the hell. But hell is actually something that the King James Version of the Bible explicitly creates via the mistranslation.
Right. Those are subheadings. I see the placement of the subheadings, but what are the exact name of these places?
What do you mean?
Is it the shop?
Oh, Sheol, Hades, Gehenna, and Tartarus. So I'll read them out for you if you can't see them properly. Hold on. I can barely see them on the screen. So Sheol is Hebrew. It occurs 65 plus times in the Old Testament, and it refers to the grave, the pit, or the abode of the dead, where all people go, not specifically a place of punishment. Hades is Greek, the Greek equivalent of Sheol in the New Testament, representing the realm of the dead or the grave. Gehenna is also Greek, a literal physical location outside of Jerusalem, the Valley of Hinnom, where trash was burned. Jesus used this term metaphorically to describe destruction, not fiery underworld. I'm not quite sure what they're referring to, because again, this is just an AI overview. Tartarus, Greek, used once in the New Testament, 2 Peter, 2 and 4, to describe a temporary prison for fallen angels rooted in Greek mythology. So the point of what I was trying to say to him is, hell as a singular place technically doesn't exist. You still there, bro?
Wouldn't that be equivalent to saying like planet Earth doesn't exist,
No.
but just calling out the countries like the land?
No, right? So planet Earth, we can like pretty comfortably say planet Earth exists, unless you're someone
it's just
who thinks
names
that
for
hell
mentioning
is a
a certain
place.
thing. However, you could just use math. You're
So
saying this
what?
whole thing don't exist
What?
because the details.
No. All right, so
That is it. So hell is a over.
I'll put it
I'm
to you like
gonna
this,
say, like,
right?
is hell the whole thing? But you're saying that hell.
Let's try and make. I'm trying to think of a good analogy, right? Have you ever heard of Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super?
Yes.
All right, so if I'm to convince you, like I've got you believing that Dragon Ball Z is a real place already, okay? But Dragon Ball Z is a mixture of all these other things that exist singularly, and there is no real Dragon Ball Z. So like, Dragon Ball Z is made up of Asian mythology, like Wukong the Sun King, right? Wukong the Sun King exists in Asian mythology, but Dragon Ball Z doesn't exist in our world in the same way as Wukong exists in our world. Maybe this is a bad analogy, right?
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Trust me.
Right.
Okay, so you're saying like, whoa, you said a real place.
Yeah, so there's no... All right, so...
But place is an abstract thing. However, all ideas are formless until we give it form. So
Yeah.
even Chipotle is not a real place. We marked it and
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? We placed that there.
I understand what you're saying, but that speaks to actual geography, like space-time, like places on Earth, right? hell
Well,
is
that's what I'm
never
saying.
has never
Cases.
been demonstrated to be a place geographically. Neither is heaven. This is part of someone's belief system that we're discussing here. We're not talking about actual places.
Right, but a place can be on the moon. That doesn't have to be here on Earth.
Yeah, but that's
A
still in the
place can
physical.
just
That's still in
remain
the
here.
physical domain, right? That's still in the material. Like humans have been to the moon, so we know the moon exists, right? You could look at the moon from Earth and see that the moon exists. Heaven and
Okay, so
hell,
what's
as far as I'm aware, don't operate in the same way as the Earth operates or the moon operates.
that place is
Because
just abstract though.
in order to get there, based on like the internal critique, one has to die. No,
According to the
the
Christian
bigger
religion.
story, right? So the bigger story is, in order for one to end up in heaven or hell, you have to die to see it, because it's not a part of this world, is it?
Right. Okay, so
So
death can be
it's not a
mentally
physical
and
location
physically.
though.
But
So
what
that's
they
what I'm
say.
saying. It's not analogous to the Chipotle kind of place or the moon, because it's not a physical location.
Wait, I like what you just said. So can we say that like hell, are you saying like hell is suffering? Like what is hell to you? To
To
you.
me, it's just a
Mhm.
metaphor or a means to an end, a way to keep people in line that was devised from a religion's point of view. I don't think it's a real
Okay,
place.
so those people, what are those people? Why?
Sorry, what?
Like why those people? You said to control those people. Who are those people?
So, for instance, right, those people is anyone that believes in a religion, of course, or anyone who's going to come in contact with a religion. So, if from my point of view, God is an immaterial idea, right, and not in a way that like it's an actual supernatural spirit. It's just an idea. If I wanted to figure out a complex way to instill my ethics, my values, and my system of governance to a whole nation of people, I'd have to work out how to do it psychologically, especially if I didn't have an army to enforce my values on them. Okay, so in order to get this whole schema of my values and my societal structure working in society, I need to come up or create a big other. And in order to prescribe this type of ethics or value system, the big other needs powers. So the big other needs to be able to punish, and it needs to be able to reward. Okay, so when I, in place of a Caesar, a king, etc., right, I'm not there to govern these people. The big other is there to govern these people. He's internally with them wherever they go, so he can give them reward in heaven based on their actions, which incite virtue, hopefully, or he can give them punishment based on their actions if they incite vice. Okay, if I create a space for the punishment, the vice, and I create a space for the virtue, now they've got an actual visual idea in like an eschatological kind of view of where they're heading after they die, after they depart here. So their decisions while they're here will determine their reward or their punishment. But the reality is, I created that whole schema psychologically. So there's no proof that the reward place exists or the punishment place exists. It's just so I could get the system working on the ground.
Yeah, it's. I think I'm the wrong one because I don't believe life after death because I see that in order to get death, I need life first.
Well, yeah, of
Like
course.
that's 1 + 1 = 2. So
Death is a
I
part of life.
necessarily can't. Right, but which in steps, which comes first?
Well, life would
You
obviously
need
come
life in
first,
order to
right?
get death, right?
Of course.
So yeah, I can't. I don't necessarily. That should be the question though. Like, how is it life after death and you need
Well,
life in order to
obviously,
get
I don't believe that either. So you're asking the wrong guy, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Obviously, I don't believe
yes.
that either. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Ironically, though, right? I could not believe in a god and still believe in an afterlife, because it's one of those things that is so abstract. You can apply it however you see fit. Right? You could be like a Buddhist or like a Hindu and think of things like reincarnation, and
Yeah,
all
I
these
do
other
believe it
levels
in
to
that
what
way.
might be the case. But can we know concrete while we're alive? Probably not. You know.
Yeah, I do believe in it that way, like a mental death, like that which is ignorance, and then you come into the light, and now you're alive.
I mean, yeah,
Like for sure,
that's a neat metaphor.
there's laws within us. Like you said, internally, for sure, there's laws that's set up within us, and that's where I think
I
that
disagree on that. I never said that.
you say you disagree with what.
Now, you can set up your own laws, or someone can bestow laws upon you, but I don't think you innately have laws, if that's what you're trying to say.
Well, I think, okay, so I do believe in God, and that's just mean a creator, you know,
Okay.
the supreme creator, right? So
So in a deistic
there's for
framework
sure
or like a monotheistic framework?
like a higher power.
Does the
For me
higher
to be
power
able to
interact
jump
with
up,
you?
yes.
Then it'd be more of a monotheistic kind of God. So like more like
What's
a
the word you use?
monotheistic, more like a Christian type of God, Christian, Muslim, Jewish type of God.
Well, I think God is us.
Oh, so
Like I
that's a
think we are
different
God
view.
in flesh.
Maybe that's even a more pantheistic type of God. But
But
yeah, sure.
I for sure think that we are God. However, there is a supreme being.
So you think God is in us,
Right.
but beyond us.
Absolutely.
So you're a
There's no
panentheist.
comparison.
You're a
A what?
panentheist. You're a panentheist.
Well, I look at God as in like electricity. You know, like everything has
God damn
electricity.
it. You're just all over the place.
Electricity is the source, right?
Shit. What do you mean? Say that again, sorry?
The source. Like God is for sure the source.
I mean, you could think that, right? As based on my point of view, because I think God is just a abstract concept, people can call God whatever they want to call it. So you could think that if you want to, but I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't know if
That
there.
is true.
I don't know if
But
there
we're
is a
talking about the
source.
true
I don't
living
know.
God here.
Nah,
Because that was the problem.
brother, nah,
Like,
you can't say that, right? See that's just like what you're doing now is you're throwing out like buzzwords, right? True and living God, that's a contradiction, bro.
okay, so let me
God
ask.
can't be
So
living, right? At least not.
it can't be living.
Oh, you'd have to come up with your
What's a
specialist,
living thing then?
something that has a metabolism, something that adapts, something that reproduces, something that must die, right? Something that began to live. That's a living thing. So if your God entails those things, then you've got a special, unique type of God. You know, you've got a
So
personal,
okay, let's
you've got a
say that.
personal God. Put it that way.
Okay, so let's say I have a child. Would they not have the source?
What do you mean?
I'm not talking about the physical. I'm talking about the source, God, the abstract thing, God, right?
Yeah, so
So
that's what I'm
would they
saying,
not
right?
have God within them?
You can call anything you want God. That's the point of it, because it's
Right. So,
just an
but what's the
idea.
true living God though? Because a
That
person
would
can
be
look
a
at a snake as a
contradiction,
God.
right? So again,
That would not be a contradiction.
unless you're walking around with a specific, unique definition of God, right? The standard definition
But
of
see,
God
now we all over the
wouldn't
place.
apply to it, right? So a standard definition of God is an immaterial spirit, a creator, like an all-powerful being, right? That's like a standard definition of a God. But like I said, like when I was saying, oh, you're a pantheist. Pantheists think God is everything. Panentheists think God is in us but beyond us. Dualists think God is two opposing cosmic powers. Animists think gods are spirits of ancestors, animals, plant life.
Right. See, that's
Monotheists
what I'm
think
saying.
God is one
But that's
anthropomorphic deity. Polytheists think
but that would
God
be
are
false
many,
though.
right? Henotheists think there are many different gods, but my God is the all-powerful God, right? So depending on the definition of God that you are subscribing to, you will be able to talk about what it might entail. But seeing that you might be able to have a unique, specific type of God that someone else doesn't have, points to the fact of what I'm saying right here.
That would be their ignorance though, to think that a snake is a God. And I could show them because okay, well, will that snake bless you with farmland,
Well,
with wheat bread?
I don't know how, like, are you having a different conversation than I'm having?
Yeah, because
So
okay, some people look
what are
at
you
crystals
talking
as
about?
God.
Sorry,
I'm
what?
talking about what you just said. You
I
said
didn't say
people
nothing
can
about
look
any
at a
snake.
crystal. Well, it don't matter what the thing is. People make things their gods, is what I'm saying. But there's only one true living God.
Yeah,
What
but that
happens?
doesn't
Okay,
make
for
sense.
example,
That's
let's
what
say
that's what I've been saying to
okay,
you.
so
All right, so you'd
it
have
don't
to.
make sense.
All right, so before you can say there's one true and living God, you need to define clearly what the God is that you're talking about. Because, like I said, if you're talking about a monotheistic God, e.g., God of the Bible, you can't call that guy true and living because it'd be a contradiction to his definition.
So those are the gods you're speaking about that humans invented.
All gods humans invented.
How you just
All,
huh?
every type of God you've ever heard about came from the mind of a human. Okay, you're right now in this conversation telling all of us listeners a unique version of God that doesn't exist in anyone else's mind, apparently.
No, that's just their ignorance to thinking that this thing is God.
Listen, if you're saying ignorance in a not knowing way, fine. But
No, I'm saying
if you're
ignorance
saying
as
in
in a person
ignorance
who
way,
made
if
ignorance
you
the definition. I
that
studied
is
the definition
yeah.
of
So
words. I don't
to not
just,
know,
I'm not a parrot.
to not know, right?
Huh?
Ignorance is to not know.
Right.
Right, so as I was saying, if you're saying it like that, then understandable. But if you're saying it, they're ignorant, as in they're actively
Well,
being
that
belligerent, you know, that's a difference. That speaks to your ego. That speaks to your ego, and not someone not knowing something. There's a difference between that. Not knowing something and then someone having an ego about it. There's a difference, okay? So when you're saying they're ignorant, you're saying they don't know what I know. Fine, that's totally
No,
fine.
I'm just saying that they don't know the facts.
Yeah.
Knowledge is
Now
processing
that's
facts.
your ego, right? Because what you're
What's
talking
my
about,
ego?
what you're talking about in terms of facts, aren't facts.
No,
They're things you
We're
believe.
talking about humans inventing God.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Right. So let's take a step back in the conversation, okay?
Okay, wait. Let me see what I say.
Define
God is. It's the
a
supreme
God.
creator. Okay, the supreme creator and a powerful force of the universe.
And that's
The
all.
one who is to be worshipped.
And that's all.
A snake is not to be worshipped. Those things.
Thank
that
you.
man
All right.
have made
Extras.
is not to
Extra
be
source, right? The definition you've given is what again?
according to the Bible.
This guy doesn't know what he believes, bruv. Let's get a load of this guy. Oh my gosh. He went from panentheist to pantheist back to the Bible. Like, this guy don't know what he believes, bruv. Oh my gosh. So, alright, define the God that you believe in. Is why I asked you, right? Because that's what we're
believe in
discussing.
The only one God. I'm not looking at the things on the outside as my God.
All right. So
That's like
what
people who
does
think
that
Christians
entail?
have power. What
Does that entail? So, all right. So if I'm going to say to you, right, in order to understand what Mark is talking about, does Mark believe in the God of the Bible?
Yes.
Mark believes in the God of the Bible. So if we can refer,
say he was God. Let me clarify that.
if we can
So I don't
refer
believe
to the
that Jesus is
Bible,
God.
we can get an understanding of what God is supposed to be by the Bible standard. Okay, so Old Testament, probably the primary source. New Testament, a little bit extra source, right? We can say God is an immaterial spirit, a creator of all things from a biblical point of view.
But
Is that fair? Is that fair or not? Well, obviously, I don't think he is. Do you think he is the question, since you subscribe to the God of the Bible?
It's about the truth. Is it the truth, though?
Right,
I
so
can believe there's a plane outside on my doorstep.
yes,
That does not mean it's true.
that's why I'm speaking to you in the first place, right? That's why it says humans invented God, right? Because it's probably not true.
The false God
Okay,
that you're speaking about.
they are all false from my position. You're not deep in the conversation.
False means a lie.
Right. So, if you think that there's an immaterial spirit
what God are
that
you
created
speaking about?
everything, God of the Bible, Yahweh, Jehovah, right? God, yeah.
That's language.
Generator, operator, destroyer, right? That guy.
I want to go to
yeah.
Arabic and say God. I would say Allah.
No,
That's right.
no.
Different languages.
Yeah, that's the Abrahamic God, but different faith, so it has different attributes.
No, different languages. What they call.
It's not just
what
a
your
different
faith is not.
language. It's a different
just
faith.
said that, though.
It's a different
is
faith.
it-
Right, so Judaism, Christianity, and Islam all share the same God by Abraham.
But we name in the name of the God. Right?
But the Jews call God a different thing to what the Christians call God, to what the Islamists call God, okay?
Why does that difference come into?
Because within their worldview, from their cultural spin, in their religious texts, they ascribe and assign different things to God, okay? Now, from my point of view as an outsider, yes, it's all stupid, right? But from inside, it'd be like saying the Conservative Party is the same as the Labour Party, is the same as the Green Party. To the people in the parties, they're saying, no, our version of this is quite different to their version, okay? So to me, an outsider, yes, it's all stupid and the same. But the nuance is applicable here, okay? So, if you're talking about God of the Bible, fundamentally it's known as an immaterial
No,
spirit
I'm talking
and
about
a
just
creator.
God in
Right?
general. God is the creator, the supreme creator.
All right. So
But if I wanted to say
God's
God in Arabic, I would
God, as
say
far as we
Allah.
know,
It's still
gods, as
God.
far as we know, aren't living things, right? They're not material. They're not physical. They don't start and they don't stop. If your God starts and stops, then one might argue you subscribe to a lesser God. Okay? So just based on that, you shouldn't be calling it a living whatever. Alright?
So okay, let me ask you: if you was to change your caption to "Humans invented Allah, changed my mind,"
Yeah.
would that be any different?
So how I use the word God is as a category definer for
You have no
deities.
choice because you're talking to English people,
I'm speaking
an
English.
Arabic person, or in
Yeah,
right.
I'm speaking
But you
English.
still
Allah is
right.
included inside of the category of gods, just like Thor is, just like Shango is, just like Yahweh is. It's
That's how you
included.
say
Humans
God in
invented God.
Arabic, though.
If I was speaking to a Jewish person, we'd be talking about Yahweh or Jehovah or
Oh, we
Hashem.
all get
If I was speaking to a Christian, we'd be talking about Jesus or God. If I was speaking to a Muslim, we'd be talking about Allah, right? If I was speaking to a Hindu, we'd be talking about fill in the blank. Okay, so I'm using God as a category definer for supernatural entities or supernatural deities, major deities and minor deities. That's how I'm using the word God. You're using the word God how?
as in a source,
As in the source. Okay,
right?
so can we settle on that definition for you, or do you want to pivot to a new definition?
I look at God as the source
Cool. Okay, so why should I think that a source exists and a source should be called God? Should we just start there?
why it should be called God.
Why should I think that a source exists and we should call that source God? What's up, Blue? I see you. Thank you for the gifts.
Because he's the creator, and I think he gave himself that name,
I think that's a bit
the
circular.
all power. Okay, so let me ask you. So you have a different name for the source?
It doesn't matter what we call it. I'm asking you, why should I think there's a source?
Why should you think there's a source?
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you. How did you like get on TikTok live?
How is that relevant? How is that
I'm
relevant?
saying like, how did you press record?
It
Like,
doesn't
what did you
matter.
get-
How is that relevant? Why should I think there is a source is the question, right? So if you're gonna answer my
Because where did
question
you
with a
get your
question,
knowledge?
we're not gonna get anywhere.
Because you send commands down.
Say
You
say
say,
what?
okay, no, wait.
I didn't
If
catch
you
that.
if I tell you to raise your left hand, is it gonna do it by itself, or are you gonna send that command down?
I don't know.
You don't know.
You think I send commands down?
Well, I don't think
Why
you're
should I think
qualified
that's
to
true?
even have this conversation. Then
Why should I think that's true? Do you know that your
why
body?
should you think
Do
that's
you
true?
know your
Is it
your
not true
body?
if I
Your body
if my
responds to external stimuli before your mind can even interpret it. So does that mean that you control your body or your body controls your mind? Right? If you don't
your
know
mind
that,
controls your
then you
body?
may not be ready for this conversation. Right?
Your mind control your
That's
body.
what
though.
you think, but not scientifically so, right? Anyway, why should I think there's a source?
I'm so confused. Wait, why you? Well, let's stay on one topic.
No,
Okay,
yeah,
so
let's stay on this topic. Why should I think there's a source?
Are you not the source?
Why should I think that there's a source? This guy's gonna ask you another question.
Because where you getting your power from?
What power? Why should I think that I'm the source? He's gonna ask you another question. That's jokes, man. Why should I think there's
You
a
said,
source,
why should
bro?
you think there's a source?
Yes, and then
mean-
later in the conversation, why should we call the source God if there is a source? Right? Why should I think there's a source? You gotta ask me another question.
I don't know. I mean,
All right, fair. Now we're getting
I mean,
somewhere.
questions
Now we're
can
getting
go
somewhere.
over. I'm not the type to like just.
Now we're getting
ramble
somewhere.
and
Right,
speak.
so it's okay to say that you don't know.
No, I know that.
All right, so you don't know if there's a source.
No, I'm not saying I don't know the source. I know
So
for a fact.
why
there's a
should I
source,
think
but
that there's a
trying to
source
figure out
then?
How to like you asking? That's not asking. Why should I think you? Why should I get you to think that is a source
What makes you think that there's a source?
because I'm able to make anything that I want in
Are you?
regards to. Right. Okay. So how I know it's a source because I can't.
Are you able to make anything you
No.
want?
Let me. Okay.
Or are you able to make anything that you can?
Yeah. No. I can make anything that I want.
Are you
I
sure?
just can't create. That's. So you're gonna tell me that I could recreate cement? I could recreate.
What if that's
land?
what you want?
I'm saying, but can I recreate these things? Can I recreate water?
If that's
Or
what
can
you
I take
want,
water and make
shit.
things out of it?
If that's
The
what
chair
you
sit-
want,
No. The chair you sit
that's
in
what
was
you
made by
said.
who?
You said you could create anything you want. If you want to
No,
recreate
I said
cement, if you
I
want to
can make
create
anything.
water,
I
then
didn't say
according to
create.
you,
I
you
never used the
can.
term. I never used the term create. I said I can make anything I want. And you said
Oh, you
can't
lot
make
heard that,
anything.
right? All right, cool.
So you didn't just say that. You didn't just say that you can't make anything you want.
All right. So why should I think that there's a
I said
source?
I can't create because I know I can't create because
Why
there's no
should
God on earth
why
that
should I
could.
think there's a source?
He's the only creator.
All right. So how do you know a God exists and He created anything?
Because I can't jump up in the air and stay in the air. There's
Oh, that sucks for you.
There's laws. So you can.
No, I never said anything about. I'm not judging whether a God
So
exists
can we
based on the
classify
fact
that
that
as
I'm
true though? Can
like
we
slave to
classify that
gravity.
as true
Right?
and not a
That's not
belief?
how I'm judging God's
Listen,
existence.
okay,
It's
you
like
believe me?
that gravity makes me believe in God.
Right. So who created that gravity? Can you?
Why
recreate
would I
gravity?
think anyone created gravity?
How did it get there? What do you mean? It's a thing that's there. It
It's a
exists. You can't
description.
speak-
It's a description.
It's a description.
Yes, it's
But
a
is it the
description.
truth?
What do you
Is it a
mean? Is it the
fact?
truth?
Okay, is it a fact?
Right. So why should I think
Is
that
it a
there's a
fact?
source? Why should I think there's a source?
Why should you think there's a source? I think because you won't. It won't lead you in ignorance. Like you won't go in front of the world and be and looked at as a fool.
I wouldn't
That's
mind.
why.
Look, there's an old saying that if the populace or the majority consider you a fool, then you can be sure that you've begun your work. What is true isn't popular, and what's popular isn't true. I would be fine being considered a fool. I think I'd be in the company of the greatest if I ever reached that status. So I'm okay with that. But why should I think that there's a source?
Would it be a lies? Well, like I'm confused. You're trying to like navigate in your own way, but it's not making any sense. You
What?
asked the question again, and I said that I don't care what necessarily what you think, but to get in front of the world and say like humans inventing God,
Yeah,
that's like
I've got good
false.
reasons to
That's a
say
lie.
that. Right, so explain to me why it's a lie. I've got good reasons to say humans invented God.
That would be like you invented your father.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes, that's equivalent. We could change
No,
out
no,
the
it
noun
wouldn't.
name,
Just
but it's
because
equi-
just
it's the
because
same thing.
you believe God is a creator, it doesn't change what I'm saying. That humans invented God.
You
Your
said
beliefs,
humans invented
your
God.
beliefs
How
have
can
nothing to
humans
do
invent
with
God if God
reality.
already been here
Your
before you?
beliefs have nothing to do with reality. That's things you believe, bruv. That's not things you can prove, right? You don't even know if there is a source. You couldn't give one good reason. Like
Why you keep saying I
you
don't have
you
proof that
said
it's a source?
simply because you can't jump in the air and stay there, there has to be a God. You said that, right? So my reasons for saying humans invented God are quite supportable, right? Quite supportable indeed, all right?
But that's your belief.
I can walk you through it
You
if you'd
see
like
how
to
we keep
know.
going back and forth on belief? We could do this all day.
Yeah, but
about the truth. about
it's
the
something you
facts
can
of it.
substantiate.
What's the facts?
It's something
Don't
you
you
could
wanna be
right. So, if you would compare the
That's
statement
just stupid.
"humans invented God" to the statement
Right.
"God exists independently of humans," my statement would win because it's supportable. You can't even prove your own belief in God exists. So how could you compare? All right, so go.
How did I get my car?
I don't know, but by your age, it was probably your mum or dad or something. I don't know, right? But how does that have anything to do with the conversation?
If because you asking how do I know it's a source? I know it's a source because he blessed me.
You
with
just
these
said
things.
just
I
said
don't
oh,
just-
all
I
right.
don't
So
just- I
the
believe
creator
that
of the
I'm a God.
universe, the creator of the entire universe, everything, every single molecule sees it fit that he should bless Mark with a car.
Hold on, let me clarify something.
He's
I
not busy at
believe
all,
God-
is he?
okay,
He's just
so
like,
let
yeah,
me-
like
let
I
me-
need to
let me
make
say- let me say
universe
this,
like
let me say this.
4.5
I
billion
believe that God
years,
isn't-
make sure everything happens so we can get to Mark's existence, make sure Mark has a nice birthday, and then when Mark gets to 22, I'm gonna get Mark a car, and it was all just for the purpose of that happening, right?
Wait, mate. Wait, let me speak, mate. So
It's foolishness,
God
bro.
is a man
It's
and we cannot know
egocentric
him other than
nonsense.
Wait, Okay, so let me tell you then. Tell me what you think about this. So I believe that God is a man, and we cannot make him other than man unless we make him inferior.
Sorry, what?
I believe that God is a man, and we cannot make him other than man unless we make him an inferior one.
Didn't you say he was the
So
source
to
earlier
answer
on?
your question on how I know he
Didn't you say he was the
exists,
source
because
earlier on? I
That's right.
told you your definition
God
of
is
God
nothing
was
but a
gonna
man.
pivot, didn't
He's
I?
the source to
I
himself.
told you
What are talking about?
your
That's why I asked
definition
you
was gonna
earlier,
pivot,
how
innit?
did you get on TikTok
Yeah.
live and you
Your
was like,
definition had to
is it
pivot
a
because
mystery
that's
or did you
exactly
just
how God's function. As anything and everything that humans want to use them as. That's exactly how God's function. Like earlier on, he was the source. Before he was the true and living God, and now he's just a man, right? Because you can turn God into whatever the hell you want him to be, because he's just an immaterial idea that suits the needs that you have for it. That's all there is to it.
Are you comprehending what I'm saying?
Are you is the question.
Wait, are you comprehending what you're saying?
I know what I'm saying, bro.
You're saying that he's this, he's that, he's this.
So if you aren't able to stick to a
What is a
simple,
creator?
if
That
you aren't
person
able to stick to one
He's the man of
definition,
rose. What are you talking
if you aren't able to stick to one definition of a God or able to clearly define a God, how could you possibly know at any moment if you're interacting with that thing
You
or
asked me,
something
how do
else?
I know a source
How could
exists?
you
Did you not?
know if you're interacting with that thing or something else if you aren't even able to stick to a definition for it?
Okay, I'm the guest here. Can I?
You were a
can I ask you-
pantheist earlier in the conversation, and then you were
You
monotheist
can't
later
call
in
me
the
that because
conversation.
I never said
Your
that.
word said it based on the things
That's
you
your-
said.
that's your belief.
No, sorry, you were a panentheist. Alright?
Which is what?
Oh my
What's
gosh.
the definition of it? What's the definition?
It's
of
someone
it?
who believes God is inside us but beyond us, right?
I don't believe that.
Alright, so Mark, for
I
reference,
just have to ask you,
reference,
you
Mark,
asked
this
me, but
conversation
are you
is
gonna
going to
be
be
able to ask
available.
me a
This
conversation?
conversation is going to be available later on YouTube if you would like to listen back to it. Me personally, I don't really listen back to these things, but you'll be able to listen back to it, okay? If you really want to.
Okay, so let me. So you think that you're gonna post this on YouTube, right? And
It's a
you
live
think that-
stream. I don't need
Okay,
to
that's-
post
no,
it.
I'm
It's already there. Like,
You're just
it's
assuming
literally
that,
already
you see
there.
how you're responding without me finishing?
Sure, go for it.
That's a sign of a fool.
I don't mind.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't
But
mind.
can we
bro.
respect
I'm
each
trying to get.
other?
I'm trying to get like
Can I say
Diogenes in my
something
old
and
age
then you
anyway. So
respond,
like,
and then
sure.
you say something and I respond. Can I finish?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Because I know majority of the people you probably speaking to are dumb, deaf, and blind.
Oh, that's
So
rude.
you said, okay,
That's
so
very
your
rude. I think I
question-
speak to
okay,
quite
right.
like
So let me ask
articulate,
you-
intelligent
let me
people
say
all the
this.
time.
Was your
People who
question
are more
not,
sensible than you.
How do I know
I
this
think that's
source
rude.
exists, right?
You hear that,
It's not-
folks? He
it's
said
not
he's
rude.
doing better than all of you. He said he's better than every single one of you.
But see, you're a liar because I never said that. You like to tell
You
lies,
implied-
you a
you
devil,
implied
you're a
that.
devil, you defraud, and you
But didn't you just say a lie? Didn't you just say a lie about the audience? Didn't you just tell a lie about the audience being dumb, deaf, and blind? Didn't you say my audience was dumb, deaf, and blind? So you lied. You burned false witness first. I just pointed out the critique.
That's why we here.
I just pointed out the critique. I just pointed out the critique. Right? So what are you talking about? But anyways,
How old are you?
doesn't matter.
It does matter because.
Why? What, now you want to be my senior? Like, what difference does it
When I
make?
joined- when I first
What difference does it
joined the live,
make?
You invited me up. You asked me. My
Yeah,
age,
because
right?
you sounded
So
young.
why did it matter? Why did
Because
it
you
matter?
sounded young. Did you forget already?
So I'm asking.
Did you
your
forget
age,
already? And then
it
you
don't
said
matter.
you're
Why-
22.
Why is it now? So
Right,
you're
because your age was only relevant. Your age was only
You're
relevant
not
because you
intelligent.
sounded
That's why
too
you
young
got
to
all
be
these
here.
views and you gonna
Right?
post this on YouTube
Does that
and
make
majority of
sense?
intelligent people gonna know this is
Does
true.
that
The
make
only
sense?
followers you gonna have
The
is
only
dumb, deaf, and
reason,
blind.
the only
You get what I'm
reason I
saying?
asked you
Your
for your
followers are
age
dumb,
is
deaf,
because
and
you
blind. So
sounded
it
too
is.
young to be
Your
on
shit as true.
TikTok. All right, that's why we asked your age because you
mate.
sounded
What
too
you say,
young.
mate? You want me to, mate? You
Yes,
a clown.
mate.
Like,
Yes,
shut up.
mate. Thank you. Right? You see the ad hominems, the perfect expression
'Cause you
of his
corny. I
beliefs.
wasn't on this type of time.
in his
Once I see
actions,
you have no
alright?
respect for me. Now, I mean, I should treat
Bro,
others.
have
how
I called you out of your name?
Yes, you did.
When?
You said it,
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
he's
You said
bearing
so
false
much.
witness again.
That's how
Oh my
you're not
gosh.
articulate. You're not
He's
articulate.
bearing
Did
false
you not
witness
use the word
again.
stupid earlier? Did you not use the word
When?
stupid earlier?
When did I call you stupid?
Play it back on your YouTube.
I don't
so you can
need
see
to,
your
bro.
words is-
Ask it like
your words
chat.
so
Did I
much
ever call this guy stupid?
to you, but your words are
Did
really
I ever
less.
call this guy
You
stupid?
talk so much. That's what I'm saying, bro. You're talking
Bruv,
a
come
lot.
on.
Like you're not really.
It's a
articulating
call-in
yourself.
show.
You're getting down to the bottom.
I called him stupid. When did I call him stupid? Right? Name the time. Go and timestamp it and bring it back for us so we can know. Right?
Earlier, so you telling me this is false? I'm telling a lie.
I think you are. I think you're
You
more
think
caught in the
that's what I'm saying.
emotion
I can't
than the
talk to you
actual
like you think.
substance.
You think you're just a thinker.
Oh,
You
thanks.
don't really yeah. You're just a thinker.
Thank
I'm a
you.
thinker.
I appreciate that. That's kind of you. All right. But
So are we gonna actually have a debate
I
as to
mean,
science,
I
or
don't.
are we gonna?
I'm not a scientist.
It's
I'm just a guy.
not a scientist.
Did you say two scientists? Bro,
Oh, well, I
I'm just a
mean,
guy.
this is
I'm
a
a worker. I'm a
conversation.
proletariat. I'm just a normal guy, bro. No, I'm joking. I'm just a normal person having a conversation with you. An assumed normal person, okay? So if it requires a scientific
You're a white girl.
accreditation
Lou,
to
you
be able to have this
5 years
conversation,
old,
I don't
Lou.
think
Like,
you're doing a good
you
job of
say-
representing science, right? If that's the case. But man, listen, son.
That's your opinion, though. Like, what do you want me
I'm
to
a
say
no,
about
I'm a
that?
normal guy, bro.
Opinions is so vain. Like,
All
it
right, no, I
don't
just wanted to
matter.
clarify
It's
that.
about the
I don't
facts.
want to bear false witness or
Would you
pretend
lie
to
to your
be
child?
pretend to
Would
be
you lie to-
something
so
I'm not.
basically, you
I'm
would
not
lie
a
to your child,
scientist. I'm
basically.
not a philosopher. I'm not a
So what
theologian.
are
I'm
you?
just
Like,
a
you're
normal
just a dumb
guy.
person.
I'm just
So
a
you're a
normal
fool. So
guy.
you qualify as a
And
fool.
if a
So
fool
you
is
qualify
operating
as a
at such a
fool.
high level compared to you, what does that say? Right? He dropped himself. Like he's like, come on, brother. Come on. Like conversations rarely go in that kind of direction because it's silly, bro. Or now you want me to accept you back up? Nah, bro. You shouldn't have dropped yourself. Like, let's give someone else an opportunity to come up, man. Anyway, folks. Yes, you did. I didn't drop you. There's no mods in the chat to drop you, bro. You dropped yourself. Like, how can I drop you? Like, see? Like, you're lying again. Like, come on. Why would I drop you mid-sentence? Like, come on, bro. Like, anyone who's been on this show knows I don't just drop people, bro. Nah, I didn't drop him, man. I didn't drop him. Anyways, Mark, it was nice speaking to you. You can come up another time, but you've eaten enough time of the show already. So let's give someone else a chance. Jiminy Crickets. Nah, joking. What's up, Carly? How you doing?
I'm pretty good. How you doing?
Not too bad, bro. What do you want to talk about? Oh, Payne, I'm sorry, brother. I just realized.
I won't be long. I won't be long.
Sure.
I just question. So what exactly is it that you believe? How do you believe we got here?
I mean, I don't really hold solid beliefs about that. I would say I'm not 100% certain, but if someone was to ask me if I'm going to pick between a creationist story or scientific explanatory power, I'm going to lead towards the science.
So then my question would be, so you don't believe in intelligent design?
No, I don't. I think that's a human point of view. It's not a natural thing.
How is it not a natural thing though? Then because
Well, because
I
design.
believe in a creator simply because you find evidence of intelligent design in nature. Like
Yeah.
ever since
I
you
don't-
could
I
say
don't
from
think
the
that's true,
dawn of
bro.
time, if you want to say, but from the dawn of at least records being kept,
No, bro.
what exactly has changed?
So
now I know that some people,
it's
if you wanna get into
it's
the
an
dinosaur
opinion,
argument-
right? So to say something is designed is implying there's a designer. So you're implying that there's some agency there who had intentions to do the thing that you're saying it done, right? From my point of view, being that I think humans invented gods, anthropomorphism is one of the things humans use when they invent gods, meaning they give gods human abilities. So the ability to express love, anger, destruction, pain, and even design are things that we give gods. But when you look at something as an individual human, belief in God or no belief in God, and you decide to yourself that that thing is designed, that's an opinion that you have. It's not an actual fact. It's not a concrete fact. It's an opinion.
But how is that an opinion when you have things like?
Because you'd have
like,
to
for
demonstrate
example,
it has a
we
designer.
have, but nothing has changed, right? Animals have been the same. People have been the same.
That's not true.
You know what I mean?
We're
how's that not
evolving,
true?
bro. Everything is evolving. Plant life, animal life, human life. Even the earth itself is low-key changing.
Do you believe that humans evolved from apes?
No, it's not how that happened, but we are relatives of them. Again,
And to
not
the
a
relative
scientist,
point, that's
just so you
kind of
know.
what I mean is that even in the differences that you have in life or living beings, there are constants, right?
I mean,
Like, I may not have a tail, but humans have tail bones. I may not have fangs, but I have, sharper teeth toward the front. animals innately understand where, like a bee will fly up to me and look me in the eyes. How does a bee know where my eyes are?
I don't think it's looking for your eyes. That's a bit.
Predator
It's a
will
bit extra. I was
automatically
like,
want to go for the jugular.
I mean, I like bees
Like
too,
trees
man.
die every year and come back. You have summer,
a bit
fall,
much.
winter, and spring every year. The the earth revolves around
Yeah.
the sun all the time. The moon every
Right. So
30
these are all
or
things that
so
we
days,
describe.
The moon has the same phases.
Right, yeah, these are all things that we're describing about the universe, but there's nothing that says, which is kind of like the problem of induction, that it will be that way tomorrow. We assume based on the things that have happened before that it will be the same
But that's
tomorrow.
kind of my point.
But there is
that
no
you say there's nothing
guarantee,
that says
right?
that things will be that way
And
tomorrow.
the next
But
level
I
to
can
that,
promise
brother,
you-
listen. The next level to that is this. Because we're operating from a human point of view, which is like the anthropocentrism in this whole conversation, in our whole existence, our understanding of all these individual things, from the cycles of nature to gravity to animal life, right, could actually be wrong, or we could still be missing key information about any one of those subjects. So we're going based on what we know, observations we've made, but we can't call these things actual facts, like, I mean, in a concrete way. It just seems to be a consistent pattern currently. But say, for instance, our solar system was to go through a black hole, right? That would change, if any life were to survive, that would change everything we know about physics, meaning everything we know
But that's
about the
my thing
planet,
is that
everything we
you're
know about
saying
life.
And
that as a
my whole point is
possibility,
that
that
you're
as a
saying that
possibility has a
tomorrow
high
all of this could-
probability, okay? That as a
But
possibility
my
has a
whole
high
point is that you're saying
probability.
a high probability. My point is that your argument is that there's things that we may not know, and tomorrow something might change, and what if,
Yeah, because we're just
the solar system
describing
goes to a
things.
black hole. My argument is that since the dawn of record, there has been no evidence of this ever happening.
What are you talking about, bro? The
Whether you want to
Earth,
say the dawn of time or
the
not, but
Earth as
since
we
the
live on
dawn-
it, the Earth as we live on it has changed numerous times. There's been like cataclysmic events, if that's how you pronounce it, right? Whole species have been wiped out. Like the Earth has been changing.
I mean, yeah, you
Like
have had
we're like
cataclysmic
some
events,
people
but
argue that
are
like
you
us as a
saying that
species are
an
between like a
avalanche or
million
an
and
earthquake
300,000
is evidence that
years.
there's not a creator?
It's not evidence that there is a creator. Patterns, being able, like humans are pattern recognition machines. We love a good pattern. We love a good, like a pigeonhole, right? But us being able to spot patterns doesn't imply that there's intention behind the patterns. That speaks to something about our psyche and not necessarily the actual world. Right?
How does that speak to something about our
Some
psyche
might
if this
argue
is
that we
literally
don't
what we're
even.
witnessing happening?
Some might argue that we don't even actually have access to the actual world. We have a projection of the actual world that we see in our mind, but we don't actually have access to the world as it is, right? Philosophically speaking. So that's a whole different thing. So fundamentally,
like that
it's
argument
an
is basically
opinion.
saying, don't believe what I'm looking
It's
at.
an opinion. You shouldn't. There's an old saying, right? You should try and test it if you can. But obviously, do not be too skeptic. There are things you can trust with your eyes. But that being said, the view that things are intelligently designed is an opinion that buttresses a pre-held belief already that there is a designer. Okay, but it's
And I
not. It's
also
not a
think that your
concrete
opinion
fact.
is also an opinion that's held on a belief that there is not a designer.
Well,
Because again, you're saying that
I'm simply
you
saying
keep
I've
bringing
not
up
been convinced of
possibility,
that being the
possibility,
case.
possibility. My only argument is that, okay, there's a possibility, but since record has been recorded, this has never happened.
Do you
So
mean
how is it
history?
more likely
Do you mean
that-
history?
How is it more likely that there's not a creator because
Wait,
something
what?
might happen?
Slow down. What
than it
what
is
has
that
never
there is a
happened?
creator because of things that have happened and are continuing to
Slow
happen.
down. What has never happened? Because you said since recorded history something has not happened. What has never happened?
Or what has happened. What has happened. The earth continues to revolve around the sun. That has never changed. We didn't.
Yeah,
one day
but
revolve
people
around the
didn't
sun
know
and
that
then
at a
someone
certain
said-
point, brother.
Hold on a second.
At a certain point, brother, humans for everything, bro.
Because you keep
At a certain point, bro, humans thought that everything revolved around the sun, and that belief also supported their belief in a creator too. But were they wrong about that? They believed it was true. It was a description about their reality, but it wasn't the actual reality, was it? Because I think now we're in a heliocentric model. Obviously it does, but people used to think it didn't. And they still believe. That's what I'm saying to you. It's a description based on what we know now. It doesn't make it a concrete fact of reality. Right? And even the description of what we're looking at now doesn't point to a God being behind it. That's a belief system you're bringing to the table. That's not observing it objectively.
Valid because somebody was wrong about what I said happens. Somebody was wrong
No, I
about
think
the
that's what
Earth
you want to
revolving.
hear.
Someone said that the Earth doesn't revolve around the sun, and somehow that makes me
That's
saying that the Earth does revolve around the sun
right.
invalid.
But the fact that you know the Earth revolves around the sun now speaks to humans investigating things further and not just going on the things that they believe based on an inaccurate observation. Okay?
But then that continues to prove or disprove. And my
So,
point is that as we continue to prove, it leans heavier on that side. Again,
no, it doesn't.
they've gone to other planets, and when you go to these other planets, you find the same metals and gases that you find here.
Yeah, because
If there was some
everything is
random Big
matter.
Bang, why don't you find why can't I go to the end of our solar system and find something that's not on Earth? Why is it
What are
all
you
the
talking
same?
about? If everything is matter, everything's just going
When
to be a
they
different configuration of the same fundamental material, isn't it not?
that's intelligent design because it was
How,
created
brother?
with this
How?
idea in hand.
How, bro?
If there was a random
Oh my
Big
gosh,
Bang,
it's like, bro, the
how do you
gymnastics is crazy.
how do you
How,
it's not
bro?
gymnastics? How do you get constants? And how do you get
Constants are
similarities
descriptions.
out of
All right, so there.
out of
Listen,
randomness?
brother. All right, I'm not a scientist, but this is something you can find out pretty easily. Right, there are prescriptive laws, meaning they apply to what one ought do, what one ought not do. Then there are descriptive laws, where we go and study, for instance, the laws of gravity or the electromagnetic spectrum, and we record our findings and say, oh, it consistently seems to work in this way, so we'll call it a law. But nothing in the universe means it. Nothing states in the universe, right, explicitly that it has to function the way we've described it. We get shit wrong all the time, hence the point about the heliocentric view of the universe or the solar system. We get shit wrong in our descriptions all the time. So to say that that doesn't change and there's some designer behind it is nonsense, because you're just bringing your belief to the table to what a man is described already. When the
I'm bringing my
description
belief to the
itself,
table, but
when the
my whole
description
point is
itself
that
could be
I
wrong also.
personally find it very hard to believe we have air that we breathe. There's air in the water, but we can't breathe the air in the water.
That's
But our
cool.
lungs were made to filter the oxygen.
Yeah, through
And fishes
evolution.
don't have lungs;
Through
they have
evolution.
gills.
Through evolution. Through evolution. Right? Not
And I
intelligent
don't
design.
necessarily believe in evolution either.
Well,
I
there's a lot
believe in
more evidence.
adaptation.
There's a lot more evidence. That's corny, right? But there's a lot more evidence for evolution than there is for there being a designer, like a singular agent that decided to make things this way. Right? And the better question is, right? And let's not even go down the road.
So who evolved from what?
It doesn't matter, right? If you was to
It
look
does
at,
matter.
if you was to look
Because
out, listen,
if we're
listen.
gonna go, if we could argue real quick the argument of gills
I'm
versus lungs,
giving
which
you a
one
point
is
of
the
view.
evolution?
I'm going to give you a point of view, right? So if you was to take these various, because remember, to be able to have this nice and neat story about evolution and Big Bang, you're talking about various different intersecting practices of science. So like thousands of man hours, hundreds of years of studies in each different field, like biology, physics, etc., right? Astrophysics. All of these sciences intersect at certain points when trying to give us normies an explanation to the universe. But if we was just to take like a surface level view at all of that science and say, all right, let's say a Big Bang happened, like a standard model was an expansion from a singular hot point, and that matter explodes into the now universe across space and time, right? Created the circumstances for the early galaxy or early Earth. Early Earth was just space dust pulled together by gravity. Gravity forms the early Earth. Early Earth gives rise to certain chemical releases. Asteroids or meteors hit that, impart other chemicals and elements to us. Then life, the first life form, springs forth. From the first life form, remember I'm giving you like a layman's view, not exactly the whole overview. From the first life form springs forth, we go into a process of speciation. That means that first thing starts to break up into other things, potential things that already died within probably like, I don't know how many moments it happened, right? So there's billions of things that have existed from that first piece of life that no longer exist. So to say what everything comes from is really the job of evolutionary biologists, really, and not me or you's job, right? But that being said, if we follow that trail, then everything that exists on Earth comes about naturally without anyone getting involved to say, I want this to have gills, I want that to have fur, I want this to have wings. Everything, put it this way, whether evolution or that explanation I just gave you is 100% accurate or not, it's better supportable than saying there's an entity that exists in the universe that willed for everything to be the way it is now. Okay?
No, I'm following you, and I understood that. I just personally don't believe that.
That's
I personally
fine.
don't believe that.
That's fine. You're allowed to
'Cause
disbelieve
again,
or
like I
believe
said, I
whatever you
don't-
want.
People call it evolution, but it's not It's not better. Is evolution not to better something to be able
No, it's just
to
it's,
thrive?
it's just adaptation over time, bro. Evolution doesn't care about being intelligent. It does what's necessary for survival. Again, not a scientist, so I think there's natural selection, there's random mutations, and there's some other things that entail evolution as a process. So it's not like it's supposed to be heading to some final point. It's not like, oh yeah, evolution said, in the future, I want humans to be technological, like whatever they call it, transhumans, right? So therefore, from the beginning of time in the universe, I'm making sure the arc of history is trending towards transhumanism. There's no reason to think evolution works in that way, you know? So to say it has intention is wrong. You're playing the same game as saying God has intention. There's no reason to think that.
There's no reason to think that the higher power I believe in has intention.
I'm saying, right, to look at evolution as if evolution has intention is wrong. Of course you think the higher power you believe in has intention because it's primarily anthropomorphic anyway, okay? But the point still stands. There's no reason to think evolution is heading to some specific point and it has a specific motive. It's literally just about adaptation to survive. That's it.
Yeah, and that's kind of was my original point, is that evolution doesn't have intention, which is why I believe in adaptation. I'm not going to say lungs are better than gills. I'm also not going to say gills are better than lungs.
Oh, gosh. Okay. So, anyways, why should I think humans didn't invent God?
I kind of already said my piece. Like I said,
You really
saying
didn't,
that,
brother.
that it makes more sense that there isn't a higher power because if, but then I say that there's evidence of a higher power because of what's been recorded and what we see happening every
So
single
what's
day.
been recorded?
And you say that's not the case because if.
What's been recorded? Sup, my son?
I just said the
Sup, goat man?
the constants of life. You have the seasons don't change. You may have variations in the seasons, like
Sure.
spring may start in May or spring may start in April, but it's always been spring.
So are you aware,
phases
right?
are always the same.
Are you aware, like ecologically, if me and you as humans F up the planet, we actually change the seasons, how it works? Or if like some psychopath gets his hands on like a really terrible explosive and sets it off, it can change the whole way that the earth functions.
Oh, no, 10,000%.
Right, so why would an intelligent agent have that in its schema? If me and you, normal humans,
Your
can
ability
can
to
F
ruin
up
it?
can F up
How
this
does-
whole
how does us
thing,
ruining the planet?
if
What's
we
that got to
have
do
the
with
ability to F up this whole thing, right, why would an intelligent designer intelligently design that into the plan?
I don't want to get too deep into prophecy or anything because that's going into another boat.
No, you said I don't want to smooth this over with my apologetics or anything, but I ain't got an answer right now. Fair enough.
No, it's not. I don't have an answer. I have an answer.
I ain't got an
but
answer right now.
If you don't even believe that there's a higher power, then there's no way that I'm going to convince you on
Bro,
the return
just-
of the sun.
just
and the
think
fact that he's
about it,
coming
yeah?
back.
But that could be the case, right?
I've
But again,
thought about it.
if you're saying there's a higher power and it is actually intelligent and it did actually design things, why would it allow for some stupid mortal to F up his whole design and his plan? Are you saying that your intelligent designer does things just in like a masochist kind of sado way? He just wants to see
No,
people suffer.
I
He just
believe
wants
that
these bad things to happen. Is that what you're saying, right? Because it sounds like what you're saying.
Can I respond?
Sure, go for it.
I believe that people are double-sided and that people are never satisfied.
We're like sticky
And I
tape, yeah?
believe that there was a level of free will given,
Hmm.
and then people use that same free will as a way to say that he doesn't exist.
I would disagree with
on the
that,
same
right?
hand, on the same hand, if he made us all slaves and made us all have a one-track mind and no one got the chance to ever say, well, hey, maybe I want to invent this thing that
Hmm.
can change the weather, then those same people would say, well,
But
I never
God,
even got the
all
chance
right.
to
So
think about it.
there's two layers of things there. One, I don't think under your paradigm you can have free will in that way. But the other thing is this: God could have created a world in which we still have free will, but we're not able to do those terrible, destructive things which we are capable of doing currently. Okay, so there's that critique. Again, if he's an intelligent guy and a designer, he wouldn't make it so. Right, it's just, there would be no reason to do it. But that being said,
Another
I don't.
point, I believe
I
in
don't
health,
think.
so
I don't think you'd be able to have free will to go and do these destructive things if God was actually in existence and actually did create everything. Because the individual human's will would not be able to overpower the deity's will. Its will would be final. So any destructive thing you choose to do, it would be because it willed it to you to do that. Or any good thing you would do would be because it willed you to do that. So in your paradigm, you can't have that kind of free will anyway.
I do think it was loaned to us.
It was loaned to you now. So this is becoming God of War. The more I listen, it sounds like I'm playing a game.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, that's what it's turned into. But yeah,
But
I think we're at a crossroads now.
No, I would say we're at a crossroads in terms of this, right? The things you're telling me are the things you believe, right? And I'm asking you for reasons to think these things are true and concrete,
And
not just beliefs. Right?
And then when I gave you the reasons,
Not good reasons, because they all
what
fall
if,
back.
What if?
It's not just what
I'm not
if.
arguing
It
if,
was
I'm
there was
arguing what we
substantial
see.
facts, even though I talk in like a kind of funny way, right? There were substantial facts hidden in there,
No,
right?
it's not a funny way.
Listen.
Literally, the argument went, I believe this because this
No,
and this.
because
And
it
then you
hinges
said, okay,
your
we may see
explanation,
that, but one,
brother.
you can't believe everything you see, and two, what if? I'm not saying what
Sure,
if. I'm saying
if that's
what
all
the
you
stuff
heard,
that actually
if that's
happened.
all you heard, that's perfectly fine, right? Maybe not everything that happens in a conversation is for the two
You're
speakers to
talking about
hear,
what if our
right?
solar system gets sucked up
But
into a black hole?
but
When does that
listen,
ever
yes,
happen?
because that's called the problem of induction, right? But anyways, what I'm saying to you is this: at every point where I've questioned you on something, it ultimately fell back to this is something that I believe. That's why they weren't good reasons.
No.
Oh my
No.
lord.
So is it my opinion that the moon has the same phases every month?
Phases. Sorry,
The moon
say again.
literally has the same. The moon has the
Yeah.
same rotation every month, and based on the shadow that the sun casts on the moon from the earth, it has the same phases every month.
Yes,
Is that my
but
opinion?
what is that pointing to? Right? That's the more important point. Not the fact that you're observing something in the natural world,
Pointing
which
to
is
my whole
natural.
point was saying that
Right? What does
was
that point to?
constants. I don't believe that that there was just nothingness.
So,
And
did
then
you
one day
wait?
a boom
Pause.
happened,
Pause.
and then after the boom
Pause.
happened,
Pause.
all these things
Did you
haven't
hear what
happened
you
the same way
said?
since the dawn of
I
time.
don't believe. Right? I remember what I said like
Yeah.
2 minutes ago. Whenever we get into the reasoning, you fall back on
But are
what
not
you
following? Are you not
believe.
following? No, you're not following.
Oh my
I
gosh.
said that I believe that because of the moon phase. The constants are not
this guy, did you hear what he said? Oh Lord have mercy. Right,
what are
so
you talking about?
I'll say it again, right? Just
I believe
because,
what I believe based on evidence.
right? Just because we
I believe
describe,
what I believe based on not
just
opinion.
because we describe patterns in our natural world, right? How does that get us to there being a designer, e.g., the God you believe, behind those patterns? That's the point. Observing the patterns
what a
is
designer
trivial. Right?
There are patterns. Designers have patterns. If you have somebody create art for you, even though they may create different types of art in 10 different pieces,
Yeah.
there are going to be constants within that piece because you had that person make it.
Not necessarily at all, right? But here's an example for you, right? What you're saying is pattern equals creation or creator, right? Here's an example, very good, well used example, right? Every individual snowflake that's ever fallen on Earth has been different to the last, right? And no intentional mind was behind any one of those snowflakes. Yet they're complex, yet they're individual, yet they're consistent. You can test it for yourself, brother. There's no snowflake that's ever fallen the same. Do you know why that is?
I like to meet the guy who collected every single snowflake and put it under a microscope.
There's a reason for it, right? I forget what it's called, right? But the crystallization causes it to form differently every single time. You will never get the same snowflake again, right? It just doesn't happen. That's complex in its design, in its pattern, but there's no intentional creator behind it. It's literally just temperature that's causing that to happen, right?
But do you see how we're saying the same thing? You just said that you believe there's no creator because
Oh,
of
thank
that
you for the
thing.
gift. Appreciate that. Say again, sorry?
You say you don't believe in a creator because of that thing.
I'm pointing out to you, right?
So would I be wrong?
I'm
to say
pointing
that
out
that's
to
your
you
belief and
that
that's wrong?
patterns, I'm pointing out to you that being able to spot patterns doesn't imply that there's a creator with intention behind it, right? The pattern in each snowflake is unique. specific, and the constant of that is that every single snowflake is unique. That's the consistent pattern there, right? But there's no mind behind that. The individual snowflake or the fact that snowflakes are formed in the first place. It's a natural occurrence. So if you walk around saying, oh, this thing seems consistent, there must be someone behind it, that wouldn't be correct. You should first look at the natural world to see what might be behind it. And if you can't get an answer there, then maybe, yeah, we might start shooting in some metaphysical concepts and reasonings. But if there's natural explanations, they should suffice.
All right, we're going to. I'll let somebody else come up here. I think we're agreeing to disagree. I did enjoy our chat though.
All right, cool. We got like 20 minutes, but it was nice talking to you as well, Crimey. Is that your actual name?
No, my name is Michael, but yeah, Crimney.
Crimney. All right, nice to meet you, Michael, bro. We got Mark. We got Michael. Man, them Bible names are original. I got one too, bro. Don't worry. I'll speak to you in a bit, bro. Good chat. All right. We got to get Payne up, bro. Payne was here the longest. Someone's got the Tribe Called Quest avatar. That's the person I would actually want to speak to. Ooh, no, he's gone to another live. Hello, Payne.
Hello, what up, brother? What up?
How you doing, bro?
I'm all right. How you feeling?
Good, man. How are you? Did I ask already?
I'm
I did. It's politeness. I just can't help it. He's electrically relaxed. That's funny. I like that. All right, so what do you want to talk about, Payne? I saw you in the comments, and I know that you was waiting a long time. So what do you want to talk about, bro?
Yeah, man. Cause you know, a lot of people was so ironic, right? Is that the strongest believers started where you're at right now?
That's an opinion, but sure.
No, that's a fact. Like I know.
I don't think you could know that.
That's not a fact.
I don't think you could know that.
I know people personally.
So you know some anecdotal people. Like, you have some anecdotes.
Brother, I literally know atheists.
You don't know... Alright, so the reason why I'm being annoying, right, is because you can't know every atheist that's converted. You can only know a small group, right? You can't know every atheist that's... Like, let's be reasonable. You don't even know everyone in your hometown, bro. Like, don't be an idiot. Right, but fair enough. Finish the point you're making.
I don't understand how we got to the whole town.
I'm just...
Okay, right.
In general, it's just impossible for you to know that.
I know a few people. Okay, I know.
Cool,
quite a
there
few
you go,
people,
right.
okay,
Now we're more
started with
realistic.
their disposition. Okay, it's some of the strongest believers in faith, whether it's Islam or Christianity, started off where you're at.
Okay.
Okay, they were pure atheists.
I started off where they're at.
Sure.
Sure.
So with that being said, right? So atheists are very intelligent.
No.
Atheists
Don't give us
believe
two
in
props,
God.
bro. We're just people, fam.
What?
Let me speak for myself. I'm not intelligent. I'm just playing. Go ahead.
Most atheists are very intelligent.
Sure.
Very intelligent. Okay, most of them. Okay? So when I talk to atheists, my favorite thing to do is ask them to Google the last words of famous atheists.
Nah, who cares?
You want to do that right now?
Nah, I'm not interested in that.
I think you should.
Nah, I don't think I should.
Well, I mean, y'all have something in common. Y'all don't believe God is
So,
real.
should you Google the words of every theist? The last words of every theist? Like, you have something in common. Why don't you just Google it to see what it said? Like, I wish I would have ate that pound cake in 1961. Who cares? Like, what has this got to do with anything? Just like anecdote after anecdote.
I mean, I'm really here to help you. Like, I'm really here to try to save your soul. Okay, like this is not a game.
I mean, I feel like that's more of a threat than help. That's like a mafia boss saying, like, look, I don't want to smash. I'd hate to see your shop get destroyed. It sounds more like a threat than help. Like, I'd hate for this Chinese vase you've got here to just drop.
Okay, so brother,
It's more of a threat, bro.
You have to understand. From, I mean, all the way back, I mean, to the earliest civilizations. They had the understanding that we were spiritual beings.
That's what you think.
Having a physical experience.
Oh boy.
In a physical realm.
That's what you think, right? Does everyone in our society today think the same thing?
Brother, you're on Earth.
Does everyone else in
There,
society today
there
think the
are
same
there
things?
are other places besides Earth.
Did everybody in
Okay,
Stalin's Russia think the same thing? Did everyone
I don't
in
know.
Schindler's
I'm not against.
Germany think
Well,
the
well,
same thing?
well. You know what's funny? Putin actually banned
Okay,
Satanism in his country.
that's cute. Right? Lots of
Well, I
anecdotes,
mean,
but what has this got to do with
you
anything?
brought up the Russians.
No, I'm giving
That's
you a point, right?
that's
You're
what the
telling
Russians
me,
over there doing,
no, right? So I
brother.
understand. The reason I'm
Putin
interjecting.
banned
Listen, no, I'm saying
Satanism in
something
his
serious now.
country.
I'm saying something serious now.
You're on your
The
TikTok
reason
live.
I'm interjecting, the reason I'm
Okay.
interjecting when you make those large claims is because you're doing something dangerous. You're making sweeping claims about a broad amount of people. All right, so I keep injecting these little funny commentaries to show you actually this doesn't account for all. This is just an opinion this person is given. Okay,
Brother,
but if we go on the
if
internet and we start
I'm
talking
in
about
front of
groups of
100
people,
people,
brother, if we go on the internet and we start talking about groups of people and saying they all think this, and they all believe this, and they all act like that, we're setting a dangerous precedent if that's the way to say it. Okay, that's
no,
why I'm making the
no, we're
jokes.
not. You're setting that. You
No.
said that. Yes,
All right, cool,
you said that. I'm telling you. I'm giving you exact words, brother. I
cool.
do this. I'm in my 30s. I gave my life to God when I was 17, bro. Okay,
Damn,
let me ask you this.
you'll
Let
never
me
get
ask
that
you
time
this.
back.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever had a
Sure.
supernatural experience?
How would I know it's supernatural?
Because it's not natural. It's beyond natural.
So how do I get access to something that's not natural if I'm natural?
You don't get access to it.
So if anything happens
Okay,
to me in the natural world,
it's
it's likely natural then, right?
it's an experience. It's a supernatural
How
experience.
would I know? I'm of the natural world and
Okay,
I'm natural. How would
okay.
I know?
Okay. So they have actual documentation in churches, right? All types of religious infrastructures, right? Of actual demonic possessions. How do you explain that?
How do you explain that? It's not really my
How
job to do, but
how
I
do
could
you
give you a
explain?
I could give
Wait
you
a
a
minute.
competing
How
hypothesis if you want to hear.
how do you explain an 80-year-old
Yeah.
old now mind you, I'm just
Do you
gonna
want me to
make up a
speak or
scenario,
like
but
you're
this is really
you're a
what was
big
going
fan
on.
of anecdotes, aren't you? I got like a yearbook full of
Well,
anecdotes, just like 1922 this happened. Like, what is this got to
brother,
do with anything?
I'm
Right. So,
because you don't believe God is real,
right,
and
I believe
I'm
God
trying,
is an
brother,
invention.
brother. If you leave your body right now, because you are not your body, okay, you have
That's
a soul.
something you
You
believe.
are the energy within
All
your
right.
body,
So, please define the
right?
soul for me. Define the soul for
So
me.
I'm just saying,
Define the soul for me,
if you leave your body right
brother.
now and you
Define a
pass over
soul.
to the other side,
Define a soul.
you pass over a
You don't
disbeliever.
even know what a soul
You
is, do
pass
you?
over
You don't even
in
know
a
what a
terrible
soul
state of
is.
existence,
You don't even know what a soul is. Yet your whole
brother.
worldview is hinging on all of these kinds of things you don't
We all know what
understand.
a soul is, brother.
Define it then.
Brother, we all know what a
Define
it's
it.
energy.
Oh, it's energy.
It's your essence.
Oh, okay. So
It's your essence.
could we say it's an
Okay,
immaterial essence?
energy
An immaterial essence.
energy cannot be destroyed. It can only pass on.
Thank you for that tidbit.
Okay,
But would we say a soul is the
right.
immaterial
So
essence?
when you
Wouldn't
leave
you
your
say?
body,
Wouldn't you say
when
an
your
immaterial
energy
essence
leaves
is
your
quite a
body, brother,
vacuous definition? It's quite hollow. What is an immaterial essence? What is a soul? What is a spirit?
brother,
Right
it's
now,
what you have.
now if
It's
you
what
was
we all
referring,
are,
now if
brother.
you was using the word soul or spirit to refer to what the ancients refer to, which is the mind, you might be onto something. But you're talking about something
It's not the
completely
mind,
different.
bro. Your mind is in your head. Your mind is your mind. Your soul is your soul.
No.
Okay, no,
Right.
look,
So that's a
brother,
belief you
you're
have, right? Just for
brother,
clarity, that's a
you're laughing,
belief you have.
brother, you're laughing. Okay, do me a favor.
No,
I need you to Google the last
I'm
words
not
of
gonna do
famous
that.
atheists.
I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, these are
I can't
people
Google stuff while I'm on the stream,
who
bro.
who
And
passed
even if I
over
could, I wouldn't.
believing God did not
That's
exist.
an anecdotal story. It doesn't
Okay,
matter. Do you know how many
brother.
like
Okay,
billions of people who have lived and died as atheists and no one knows what they had for breakfast or what they said on their last day? It doesn't make a
okay,
difference. This is
but
like
we
you're
have the
30 something,
recordings
right?
of these
You're talking to
specific
me. You're
atheists
talking to me as
as
if
they're
I'm gonna
passing
believe a
over.
story as a 10-year-old, right? These are stupid things that
Brother,
anyone could be like,
brother, no.
thanks for telling me that, but what's that got to do with
These are
anything?
brother. These are documented moments in
Yes,
history.
that's nice. That's cute. But how is that
Yeah,
relevant?
it is. Because you're saying hell isn't real, God isn't real,
It's a
and I'm
mistranslation,
telling you
yes. Hell is a
these
mistranslation. God is an
atheists
invention.
passed over
Both are supportable.
screaming, saying
Who
I'm
cares
on
though?
fire.
Who cares?
Okay,
Brother,
brother.
who cares? Is this
Okay,
supposed to be
brother.
like a goosebump story? Who cares what they did? Like, who cares?
Okay, so
Do you know how many people in life, right, don't get to have a deathbed? There's so many people that are taken out like that. No one knows what they said, what their last words were. No one knows what their last thoughts were. No one even knows where their body is, right? Who gives a damn, is what I'm saying to you. You're telling me anecdotes that don't paint a picture of anything. It's just silly little points that don't add up to anything. It's foolishness.
no.
If all right,
Everything
so
you're saying is true.
well, you can think that, and that's totally fine,
I'm
right?
giving
But the
you
reality is something
actual
different,
documentation.
brother.
Okay,
It doesn't matter though.
documented moments
It
in
doesn't
history
matter.
of
Alright.
the supernatural
Okay.
that you're saying does not exist.
So
And I'm not even
do
done.
you
I'm just
care?
getting
Right.
started,
Let me
brother.
just give you an analogy of what
Brother,
you're saying. Right.
I'm-
Do you
look,
care
I'm
if
just getting
LeBron
started.
James likes Cheerios or chocolate milk? Do you care?
If LeBron James
Likes
said he didn't
Cheerios
believe in
or
God,
chocolate milk? Do you
okay,
care?
okay.
No.
If-
Listen.
if-
Answer the question.
If
If
LeBron
do you
James
care?
said he didn't believe in God,
Do you care
then he
if he likes
passed
chocolate
over
milk or
saying,
Cheerios? Answer
I
the
can
question
see
now, damn
God.
it.
God is
Pain,
real.
you're being a
I have
pain.
failed in life. I
Pain,
should have
you're being a
worshiped God.
pain. That's cute. That's cute. That sounds like something
would-
you like a youth pastor might tell you to scare
would-
you straight, right? But
No.
should anyone care what someone else has to say about a matter if they have no authority in it at all, right? Theology and philosophy do not have authorities like that. These are people that have opinions and schools of thought. So an individual atheist does not speak for all atheists, and an individual theist does not speak for all theists. Who gives a damn what they said?
I think you on your game, bro, and I think you feel like arguing.
I'm
with
not even
people.
playing the game for you. I wait. I let you, bro. You waited, and I let you up, right?
Look, how
And you're letting me down. We expected something like a Naruto Shippuden series to happen, but you're letting me down right now.
I'm just getting
Bro said he's
started,
just getting
bro.
started, bro.
I do this.
Bro even
for
learned
real.
Rasengan
This
yet,
is
bro.
not a game,
Bro even
This is
learned
not a
Shadow
game.
Clone yet, bro. He said he's just getting
How old are you?
started. Doesn't matter how old I
How
am.
old are you? Yeah, dude,
Alright.
bro, because I'm talking to a boy, bro.
How old am
are you?
I? I'm ageless. Now what?
How old are you? Okay, see, you playing. Look. I'm a grown ass man, bro. Look, I'm a
You're a
grown
grown ass
ass
man, alright? So what part of your 30s are you in?
I'm coming from
You're
a
in the
long line,
early 30s or the latter 30s?
What?
Are you in your early 30s or your late 30s?
I'm in my early 30s, bro.
You're in your early 30s. You're a grown ass man. Did you know the human mind only fully starts to develop or only is fully developed around the age of 26?
Did you know that middle age is actually in your 30s?
Doesn't matter when middle age is. Middle age will depend
Yeah, it
on
do,
when
bro,
you die.
because
All right.
everybody think they
So
gonna
if
live to
you
be
die
100.
at 16, what age was middle age for you?
They're gonna live to be 100.
Oh, you think?
The
You
average
think?
human life
Right.
is
So the
about
average
60
life
years.
expectancy, the average life expectancy in the
middle
UK
age
is about
actually in
80.
your 30s, bro.
Is
I'm
about
a
80.
I'm a
Right.
grown ass man.
Yeah.
I'm a grown
To
ass man, bro.
you, you're a
No,
grown ass
no,
man.
no,
All right.
Factually,
You're not setting a good example.
Okay, everybody don't live to be 100, bro.
Yeah, most people won't. Hopefully they do, right?
100 ain't
Hopefully they
guaranteed.
do. Hopefully they
Middle
do,
age
though.
is not 50.
God willing, right?
Middle age
Inshallah,
is not
brother.
50, bro.
God willing, they do.
Middle age is not 50.
God willing, they
Okay?
do, bro.
It's not.
Yeah, but
Middle age
anyways,
is in your 30s.
trying to pull age rank is not going to help you here, right? You have no idea how old I am, and that's a good thing. That's kind of cool,
Okay.
right?
What was
It's kind of cool.
your
I feel
GPA in school?
feel great,
What was your GPA in
bro.
school?
I'm English. None of
What
this
was-
is
what was
relevant.
your
Like
GPA?
you love an anecdote. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? I'm English. We don't have that in England. Like, what are you talking
I'm
about,
talking to somebody that's rather slow.
bro?
Like, this is not a game.
Yes, I'm slow. Now what?
Brother,
Yes, I'm slow. Now what? I'm slow. Now what? What does this change?
I'm not finna keep wasting my time.
I'm under 30 and I'm slow. Now what does this change? Come on, like now give it to me. Give
I'm
it to
not
me.
finna
Like
keep wasting
pause.
my time, bro. That's what. Like,
Break
I'm
it
not finna keep
down.
wasting my time.
Oh, see, there you go, right? You don't even want to
trying
be
to
an
let you
educator.
say
You
your
don't even
thought.
want to have all of that wisdom and educate people who are younger than you. Like, terrible example. Like, look at that. He wanted to know if I was slow. He wanted to know if I was young. And then he's decided, actually, you're not worth my time. What? You wanted to know if I was vulnerable. I'm vulnerable. Now help me. Come on now.
You're brother. You're a man. Okay. I asked you to do some things.
Yeah, I don't
You
do
wanna
those kinds of things. Yeah, because you're speaking to a grown man.
Okay.
Exactly.
So you want hit playing. You're not actually.
Exactly.
trying
That's
to
how that
engage
works.
enough.
That's how that
Okay,
works.
you want hit playing. I don't know if you scared that God is real? 'Cause you feel
Yes,
like you're
I'm
gonna be dealing
scared.
with
I'm
something.
terrified.
I
I'm
don't know what's wrong
terrified.
with you, bro.
Right, so here's an
But
interesting
you wanna
point,
bring,
right? If
okay,
God does exist and he's running this
if
whole
you gonna
thing,
bring up
why should
God,
I be
bro, you
worried
have
about
to
his judgment?
understand
Brother, listen. I don't like to
real
mute
and
people.
actual
I
religious
don't like to
scholars
mute
are going
people.
to join your chat.
That's cool.
Okay,
I
and when
like
we
that. That's
join your
good.
chat,
But let's
we
talk
are
about it.
expecting
Let's talk about it. Man
a
said we.
actual
Brother, please,
intellectual
please
debate.
don't put yourself in that
No, no, no,
category.
no, no, no.
Please don't tell me that
Brother,
you think of yourself as a fucking theologian because you are not
brother,
representing. Anyways,
brother.
excuse my language, but
Okay,
to the
brother.
point about God and his judgment, let's
My
actually talk
grandfather
about the
was an
con.
usher
I
in the
don't care.
church until
Man
he.
don't care about your granddad, bro. Man don't care about all that. Listen, this is the UK. You'll learn fast, right?
All
All
right,
right?
look, I'm
I don't want
gone.
to mute you, bro. But if you want to
I'm
talk about
gone, bro.
the actual topic, we can talk about the topic, right? There you go, right? Man don't care about all that. So there you go. What I was gonna say is, why should I care about God's judgment, right? If God is the man that's running this whole scheme, then me as a mortal, I'm insignificant to it. It would be egocentric of me as a mortal, and a fucking rice grain to God to think that I'm of significance where he has to either forgive me or judge me. Like I'm just a part of his game. So if I was to actually believe in God, there'd be no reason for me to worry about things like judgment and like heaven and hell. I would just be living according to its will, whether I chose or not chose. Right, so you guys, you continue to demonstrate how your whole thing is a human invention, right? Through and through, because it just speaks to your own human ego. That's all it is, right? You want an anthropomorphic deity that thinks like you, acts like you, and you can put words in its mouth whenever you feel like it. It's foolishness, okay? But that being said, we haven't got time for another guest because pain disappointed. Major pain, right? So, like, if you like this stream, I don't usually, like, I'm not so combative with people like this, but yeah. I don't usually talk this way. So it's nice to see 92 people here. But if you enjoy this, do drop us a follow. We'll be doing this other days and other times, right? So that being said, that's the last one for me. I want you guys to find the YouTube channel organically because it's kind of difficult. But there will be clips of some of these great exchanges out there on the internet, alright? But I do appreciate everyone that's tuned in. Believer, disbeliever alike. Hey James, I do want to speak to you next time because you got a really good avatar. No, but damn it, man. If only people were more genuine. Alright, so love, peace, whatever that is. See you later. YouTube guys. Oh, still the TikTok is still here. We can't talk about them yet. Still here. I'm joking. YouTube guys, I appreciate you for hanging in there, right? It is time for me to go. I know I didn't really read the chat like that, but there will be some interesting clips from the past streams coming up on the channel, the secret channel, the channel that you know if you know him. And there may even be some clips on the Culture Crack channel when the time comes. But that being said, I appreciate you for joining me tonight, and I'll see you later.